Chapter 46. That night, Uncle Dong was woken up from his sleep. Chu Xiang was involved in a scandal. Uncle Dong went online to take a look. It was not a hot search yet, but it would be seen soon. There were already many verified accounts and entertainment accounts reposting it. In the photo, the car window was half open. He could see that Chu Xiang was leaning against the car window. On the other side, he could only see that it was a young man wearing expensive clothes. Most importantly, the car was also a luxury car. No matter how famous Chu Xiang was, she was just a has-been celebrity who had just made a comeback. Why was she being sent home in a luxury car? When a female celebrity was involved in this kind of thing, it made people's imagination run wild. Uncle Dong stared at the car carefully and did not know whether to laugh or cry. Wasn't that the car that Xiao Zhou used when he went out for work? Which reporter was so stupid? He did not even know to ask around and ask for a public relations fee. He looked at the watermark on the photo and knew that this reporter had just emerged and was anxious to become famous. If it was an old fox, he would have already asked for a public relations fee in private. After all, the purpose was not to expose the news, but to make money. Chu Xiang's anti-fans were everywhere. They were high when they caught these photos. What about me? Dogs can't change their habits. Chu Xiang is a gold digger. She doesn't worship this and that. No wonder Chu Xiang did not care about the Mo family in the interview. Look at this car. Could it be that her sugar daddy is richer than the Mo family? I can't take it anymore. Chu Xiang, Chu Xiang, Chu Xiang. Can't you report some national affairs? Isn't she just a has-been celebrity? She was a top celebrity in the past. Her fans have already left her. Why is she still coming out now? What can a few photos prove? Can't Xiang Xiang have friends? Did you take a photo of someone entering Xiang Xiang's room? What time did you take the photo? Just look at the photo. Isn't it just a simple drive home? You don't even allow a free ride. The Xiang fans have come out to brainwash people again. Yes, you steamed dumplings are peerless white lotuses. Being in a car with a man in the middle of the night is definitely pure. Use your brains to think. Would a normal person have the guts to go against the Lin and Mo families in front of the media? She even dared to call Lin Zhou's grandmother an old witch. If she didn't have a backer, she would have been killed long ago. Find out who owns Xingyao. Let's see if Lin Zhou has the ability to kill one of them. The boss can't be a backer. Why are your thoughts so dirty? Do you usually do this kind of thing? Obscene people see obscenity, bah. Ha ha ha, everyone, come and take a look at Chu Xiang's retarded fans. They believe everything about Chu Xiang Xil. This time, no one participated in the battle between the Xiang fans and the anti-fans. The anti-fans originally thought that they would win the battle, but they didn't expect the Xiang fans to be so strong. They were evenly matched with a large group of anti-fans and didn't fall behind at all. Anyway, the Xiang fans were biting on the truth and the anti-fans couldn't do anything. Could they still see Chu Xiang's house through those photos? Uncle Dong gave Chu Xiang a call and told her not to casually respond to the media, in case someone with ulterior motives took advantage of her. Chu Xiang laughed and said, "Now I really know what it means to be a top celebrity. It means that no matter when, maybe when I'm 70 or 80 years old, there will still be people watching me. Look at how Chu Xiang was in the past and how she is now. She's really living off her past." Uncle Dong also laughed and said, "The entertainment circle is like this. Especially when your development experience is so special, it's inevitable that you will be criticized. And whether you leave the entertainment circle or not, you will still have anti-fans. It's just that you will have more anti-fans in the entertainment circle." Chu Xiang didn't care at all. If there are, then there are. When people become popular, there will be a lot of problems. My recent comeback popularity is still okay. I can appear in the public eye without any works. There's no way I can disappear even if I want to. There's no need to care about these groundless accusations. Just respond to a single career. Later I will also inform Director Zhou. This is the second time he has been photographed with you. Go to the production team tomorrow and film well. Be more diligent and cherish this opportunity. This will be your first official work after your comeback. You must pay attention to it. If there are any problems, communicate with me immediately. Uncle Dong was a little worried and gave a lot of advice. Chu Xiong laughed. I know better than anyone what I want. Uncle Dong, don't worry. I can't always rely on gossip to be on the hot search. In the future, my works will also be on the hot search. Okay, then rest early. I will ask the PR department to make a statement. Uncle Dong hung up and called the PR department. There were people on duty at night. He directly asked the copywriter to write a simple statement. Uncle Dong remembered to give Zhou Yi a call and even joked. Director Zhou, isn't this too much of a coincidence? Both times they were photographed. Zhou Yi heard that he wanted to make a statement and hurriedly said, It's not appropriate for you to respond like this. This is setting up a flag. If Chu Xiong has a boyfriend in the future, the anti-fans will definitely use this statement to defame her. You can just make it simple and say that this matter is not true. Uncle Dong was stunned, but Chu Xiong told me that she doesn't plan to find a boyfriend. At least, she doesn't plan to find one before she becomes famous in the next few years. It's not a problem to make a statement like this. If there are any scandals in the future, she can respond like this. After a few years, if she has a boyfriend again, won't it be over? No one will care. Chu Xiong doesn't plan to date. Uncle Dong was a little confused. Was this the main point? Why was the boss so concerned about whether Chu Xiong found a boyfriend? Zhou Yi said, Just follow my statement. Anyway, the innocent will be innocent. She will soon enter the production team to film. This kind of news won't last long. Okay, then I will ask the copywriter to change it. Before Uncle Dong hung up the phone, he asked hesitantly, Director Zhou, don't tell me. You have some thoughts about Chu? Zhou Yi laughed. Uncle Dong, do you think it's not possible? Really? Uncle Dong was stunned. Director Zhou, Chu Ku is really a good child. She really wants to rush to the top of the entertainment industry this time. Don't ruin her. Zhou Yi was speechless. How am I a ruin? Who have I ruined? What are you worried about? No, what kind of life is Chu living in the Lin family? Almost everyone has come out. She just escaped the tiger's den. How can she enter the wolf's den? Go away. Your house is the wolf's den. Forget it, you don't have to worry about this. Do you think I'm that Lin? I'm hanging up. Hurry up and deal with the matter on the internet. Chu Xiong's popularity is enough. It's easy for people to dislike her because of her private matters. Take down today's hot search and keep a low profile. Understood. Uncle Dong hung up. Thinking of Zhou Ye's last words, he felt that Zhou Yi seemed to be quite concerned about Chu Xiong. This person had always been reliable, but he didn't know if he was reliable in a relationship. Uncle Dong thought about it and still felt uneasy. He got someone to release a statement according to Zhou Ye's wishes and then gave Chu Xiong a call. Chu Xiong was in the middle of a medicinal bath. She asked curiously, Uncle Dong? Is there anything else? It was rare for Uncle Dong to stutter for a while. He then cleared his throat and said, Chu, I was talking to Mr. Zhou just now. I feel that he seems to be interested in you. Have you noticed it? Chu Xiong was slightly stunned and thought carefully. I didn't notice. But so what if he is interested in me? Uncle Dong choked and said, Then what about you? Didn't you just get divorced? Director Zhou's status is higher than Lin Zhou's. Director Zhou's parents are also not low. His relatives are also officials in B City. If you are interested in him, you should consider these aspects in advance. You are my artist. I don't want you to experience any more bad things. Chu Xiong understood and smiled. Uncle Dong, are you worried about this? Then let me tell you. I will never get married in this lifetime. My ultimate goal is to reach the top of the entertainment industry. No one can shake me. As for Director Zhou, well, he is quite interesting. His family has nothing to do with me. Don't worry about it. Hey, why are the two of you saying the same thing? You both ask me not to worry. Alright, then think about it yourself. The company's official Weibo just released a statement. You should repost it and make a statement. Sleep early. Alright, don't think too much about Director Zhou's matter. I just want to let you know so you know what to do. Alright, I got it. Chu Xiang couldn't help but laugh. She felt that Uncle Dong had become a worrisome old father. He was completely different from the first time they met. She opened Weibo and looked at the statement. It was very simple that this matter was a rumor. She reposted the statement and even found a nicer selfie to post. She wrote, I couldn't tell that I was so charming in the hearts of so many people. Thank you for your appreciation. Xiang's fans were stunned when they saw her Weibo. Then, they all laughed heartily under her Weibo. My Xiang is too funny. That's right, the haters admire her too much. They just said that she was an abandoned woman and found another rich man to take over her. In the blink of an eye, they resolutely changed her to a rich man. It's not like you can change a rich man just because you want to, okay? My Xiang's charm is amazing. The haters are really illogical. They belittle Xiang on one hand and think that she can do whatever she wants. Then is my Xiang good or good? The haters are naturally fans. These haters have successfully told us that the fans firmly believe that Xiang's charm is invincible. Actually, we don't need to attack the haters. Let them dance as much as they want. I really want to see how many strange ideas they can come up with in the end. Let's see if they can expose their own posts. Xiang is really open-minded. I want to be like Xiang and confess to Xiang that I love you for billions of years. The photos are so beautiful. Just based on Chu Xiang's face, I'll love her for life. The haters did not expect Chu Xiang to be so shameless. She actually twisted the news of her hooking up with a rich man to say that she was charming. She even said that the haters admired her charm. They were so angry. But sometimes, gossip could be broken with just one sentence. Chu Xiang's strange words directly turned the situation around. Many people were laughing at the haters. Chu Xiang's scandal was overshadowed by Chu Xiang's words because there were no explosive photos of them kissing. Chu Xiang was only joking. She didn't expect Blackie's combat power to be so much weaker than before. He couldn't continue fighting so easily. Chu Xiang this matter was resolved before it was even made public. In addition, Uncle Dong stared at the trending topic and spent money to remove it. The popularity of this matter dropped even faster. And the angriest people in this matter were probably Lin Jiawei and Mo Xinru because they recognized Zhou Ye's car. Zhou Yi was Lin Jiawei's biggest obstacle. This was definitely the biggest insult to Lin Jiawei. As for Mo Xinru, the moment she saw the photos, jealousy penetrated her heart. Chapter 47. Lin Jiawei didn't know why he was so angry. Chu Xiang, whom he had abandoned, was valued so much by Zhou Yi. It was even possible that they were already in a relationship. He didn't feel that Zhou Yi had picked up something he didn't want. Instead, he felt that Zhou Yi had stolen something from him. A dark thought suddenly popped up in his mind. Chu Xiang loved him so much that she wanted to commit suicide. How could she let go of him so quickly? If he snatched Chu Xiang back from Zhou Yi, wouldn't that mean he had won against Zhou Yi? He didn't take Chu Xiang's rejection seriously at all. This kind of pure girl was the best to deal with. If she was angry, she would believe that he had changed his mind or had some difficulties. She didn't know anything about high society. Wouldn't it be enough to trick her into cooperating with the company and forcing her to marry him? Lin Jiawei was suddenly full of fighting spirit because he believed that he could definitely win against Zhou Yi. He especially wanted to see Zhou Ye's expression when he lost to him. Because of this sudden thought, Lin Jiawei didn't look for Mo Xinru. He felt that he wanted to calm down with Mo Xinru. But he didn't realize that in his subconscious, defeating Zhou Yi seemed to be more important than coaxing Mo Xinru. Early in the morning, he went to Chu Xiang's apartment building. Chu Xiang came downstairs with a travel bag full of Chinese medicine. She smiled and waved at Brother Yong and Tao who were outside. Li Tezu got out of the car and walked to her. He smiled and said, "Sister Chu, Mr. Lin is here. He's in the car over there. Please." Chu Xiang glanced at Lin Zhou's car and walked around Li Tezu. "I remember telling you to get lost and not provoke me." Li Tezu hurriedly stopped Chu Xiang. "Sister Chu, Mr. Lin is here specially to see you." Lin Zhou got out of the car. The trunk slowly opened, revealing a room full of red roses. He stood beside the car and smiled gently at Chu Xiang. Xiang, do you like it? It's for you." At this moment, Chu Xiang thought of a certain day a few decades ago. That Yi something had gotten a cart of red roses and blocked the entrance of the school. Was the brain circuit of a scumbag the same? But the two of them were really alike. They both felt that the original owner loved them wholeheartedly, and that they could chase her back with a wave of their hands. Were they daydreaming? Tao ran to Chu Xiang worriedly. Chu Xiang stuffed the travel bag into her arms and said, "Go to the car first." Then she walked towards Lin Zhou step by step on her high heels. Lin Zhou showed a satisfied smile. Before he could say anything, Chu Xiang grabbed his chin and looked around as if she was looking at a monster. Chu Xiang was puzzled. "You look like a human, but why can't you understand human language?" Lin Zhou stopped smiling and frowned unhappily. In the past, when he showed such an expression, Chu Xiang would never make him angry again. Instead, she would soften and coax him. As a result, Chu Xiang patted his face and said disdainfully, "Your skin is too rough, your facial features are not delicate, your eyes are not pleasing, and your temperament is not likable. Where did you get the confidence to think that I will go back to you?" Chu Xiang took 2 steps back and looked at him with disdain. "Mr. Lin, have some self-awareness. Don't let others look down on you. Of course I have long looked down on you, so get lost as far as you can, okay?" Chu Xiang. Lin Zhou spat out her name and stared at her as if he wanted to eat her. Where was Chu Xiang? She turned around and got into her nanny van. It was time to enter the set. Who had time to talk nonsense with him? Based on her understanding of Lin Zhou, these 2 sentences were enough to make Lin Zhou not look for her for the rest of his life. Li Tezu stood aside and tried his best to reduce his presence. From time to time, he would glance at Lin Zhou who was about to explode. After a full 5 minutes, Lin Zhou looked away and got into the car. "Go to the company." When the car started, he ordered, "Get rid of those flowers." "Yes, Mr. Lin." Li Tezu responded. He had a feeling that Lin Zhou had not seen Chu Xiang after his divorce, but he had. From the way Chu Xiang had rejected the check last time, he knew that Lin Zhou would not be able to get anything good out of it. However, Lin Zhou had taken over his family's company at a young age. He was used to being arrogant. If he did not hit the wall once, he would never believe that Chu Xiang did not love him. Li Tezu sighed inwardly. This was good too. He would not have to come to Chu Xiang to be scolded in the future. Lin Zhou kept looking out of the window. His face was terrifyingly gloomy. How relaxed he was before he came was how angry he was now. No one, not even Mo Shinru, had humiliated him like this. There were other people present. Chu Xiang was really bold. For the first time, he realized that Chu Xiang was completely different from the past. Maybe it was really like her. After experiencing a life and death event, even her temperament had changed. A docile and cute cat could be teased, but a stray cat that scratched was detestable. Lin Zhou immediately threw away the idea of snatching back Chu Xiang and said casually, "Send 999 roses to Ru and book a Western restaurant for lunch." "Okay, I'll arrange it right away." A trainee was lying on the balcony of the apartment building. She was even recording a video with her phone in her hand. She excitedly posted the video online with her account and captioned it, "Got solid evidence. Scumbag Lin wants to get back together. Xiang is mighty and domineering. Oh cool. Xiang wants to marry me. Attack my face." She was a Chu Xiang fan. After finding out that Chu Xiang lived here, She would walk around the corridor many times just to bump into Chu Xiong. She even asked for an autograph and a photo with Chu Xiong. Today she was really excited to take this video. She wanted to let the group of haters worship Chu Xiong and see how Chu Xiong despises scumbag Lin. As expected, the video started a heated discussion online. F***ck. I thought that scumbag Lin Joe bullied Chu Xiong. In the end, it was Chu Xiong who despised the domineering president. What is Lin Joe doing? A prodigal son turning over a new leaf. A sudden awakening. He realized that the substitute is his true love. Has the white moonlight turned into rice grains? I just want to know Mo Shinru's thoughts. What is the feeling of going from white moonlight to being dumped by a mistress? Chu Xiong is awesome. Just do it. So what if he's rich? Does he really think that pretty girls can come and go as he pleases? Isn't Chu Xiong sitting in a luxury car? She must have found someone better to reject Lin Joe. Do you really think she's so virtuous? Get lost, haters. I've been seeing you all slandering Chu Xiong. Does Chu Xiong need you to worry so much about her? Even if she found someone better, would it bother you? That can only mean that Chu Xiong is very charming. An abandoned and divorced woman is so arrogant. Does she think she's a fairy? The Qing dynasty is over. Don't come out and show off your low IQ. The video was very clear. Everyone who saw the video could see that Chu Xiong was full of disdain and disdain. Lin Joe's smile when he got out of the car and his gloomy face after that were made into emoticons and spread everywhere. This made everyone have a new view of their situation. No matter how much the abandoned woman didn't care, it would still make people feel that she was dumped. However, Chu Xiong dumping Lin Joe was different. Her attitude suddenly rose. The onlookers suddenly got a kick out of it and cheered loudly. By the time Lin Joe found out, the matter of him chasing Chu Xiong had already become a trending topic. Mo Shinru didn't sleep the entire night because of Zhou Ye's visit to Chu Xiong's apartment. When she thought of how her Prince Charming, whom she couldn't get, treated Chu Xiong gently, jealousy gnawed at her heart, making her feel even more tormented. Early in the morning, when she received 999 roses from Lin Joe asking for reconciliation, she felt a little better and was comforted. Who knew that in the blink of an eye, she would find out that Lin Joe had brought a car full of flowers to ask Chu Xiong to reconcile with her in the morning. He was publicly slapped in the face by Chu Xiong. What was Lin Joe trying to do? What did he take her for? And the roses? Did Lin Joe give her something that Chu Xiong didn't want? How dare Lin Joe? She had misunderstood Lin Joe. Lin Joe didn't lack money. Those roses that represented shame had long been thrown away by him. However, Mo Shinru couldn't believe it. She only felt that Zhou Yi and Lin Joe were both trying to be friendly to Chu Xiong. She was humiliated by her own substitute. This was definitely the biggest shame in her life. Mo Shinru immediately called Lin Joe to question him. However, Lin Joe was already annoyed. The two of them quarreled without saying a word, and their relationship fell to the freezing point again. Then, old Madame Lin asked Lin Joe to go back and give him a good scolding. Chu Xiong made her so angry that she fell ill. Her most valued grandson actually went to reconcile with Chu Xiong. It was really as Chu Xiong said. Her grandson wasn't as filial as she thought. Thinking of this, old Madame Lin felt better. She still held the company's shares in her hands. For a moment, she was suspicious and felt that no one was filial. She actually started to guard against her grandson. As for the angry comments online, what did it have to do with her? She just wanted to be her old Madame Lin and enjoy life as much as she wanted. The uproar on the internet didn't affect Chu Xiong at all. She had already joined the cast. She had met a few important people in the cast for lunch. She brought Tao along to greet them. At noon, she treated everyone to lunch and got familiar with everyone. Director Lee asked her to watch the male and female leads on the set first to adapt to the environment. Then they would reshoot her scenes. This drama was almost finished. There were only a few scenes left. However, it was a very important scene. They couldn't do without the third female lead. Who knew that the third female lead was so bad that she went directly to Country H to make up for it? They couldn't just Photoshop it. Director Lee was still very attentive to this drama, so they could only find a third female lead to reshoot her scenes. Director Lee looked at Chu Seong, who was seriously watching the performance on the set, and sighed. He also didn't expect Zhou Yi to do this. Chu Seong's acting was really not that good. It was okay to act as a real girl, but there were too many traces of acting in other roles. It was obvious that she hadn't practiced enough. He called the scriptwriter over with some worry and said, "Later, let Chu Seong act in an emotional scene. She can try out both the martial arts scene and the literary scene. Look at it carefully and think of a way to change her scenes." The scriptwriter nodded in understanding. "No problem." The scriptwriter took out the script and pondered over it. Soon it was Chu Seong's scene. Director Lee called Chu Seong over to act in the scene where the female demon's identity was exposed, and she was almost killed by her lover. Director Lee looked at her worriedly. This scene must be full of emotions. There must be a change from despair to ruthlessness. You have to have the feeling that since you betrayed me, I will kill you. Do you understand? Chu Seong nodded. Understand. He betrayed me. Of course I will kill him. Director Lee felt that she was being too casual. He couldn't help but frown. Familiarize yourself with the lines. First, imagine what kind of expression and actions you should have. Alright, you're pregnant right now. This is very important. Try to highlight it. Chu Seong quickly scanned through the lines in the script. When the others saw this, they immediately lost hope. So, was Chu Seong really acting like a big shot? Can't you be more serious when you're acting? Chapter 48. Chu Seong was ready in just a few minutes, which made Director Lee's face turn even uglier. But he didn't care, the show still needed to be seen live. He called the second male lead, Cheng Jia, who was acting with Chu Seong, and told them to start immediately. When Chu Seong walked over, the corners of her mouth flattened, and she entered the zone as soon as she looked up. Director Lee and the scriptwriter looked at each other, surprised by her change. They signaled for the others not to disturb Chu Seong, and to focus on Chu Seong's performance. Chu Seong slowly raised her head and looked at Cheng Jia. Her voice was very low, and she spoke very slowly. "You want to kill me?" Her lips were pursed into a straight line, and there was no expression on her face, as if she was very cold. But if you listened carefully, you could hear the slight tremble in her voice, indicating that she was not calm. Cheng Jia was reenacting the scene again. He took over the role with ease and pointed his sword at Chu Seong. He said righteously, "Good and evil cannot coexist. If I had known that you were an evil cultivator, I would have killed you long ago." Chu Seong looked straight into his eyes, and her voice was still very low as she said slowly, "You and I have been husband and wife for 3 years, and we once swore to cherish each other under the cotton. Was it all fake? I already have your flesh and blood in my stomach. What will you do?" Chu Seong slowly raised her right hand, and her 5 fingers pressed against her stomach, as if she was going to press down hard, but also as if she was forcefully restraining herself from pressing down. Even the curve of her fingers revealed a sense of despair. Cheng Jia frowned and revealed a disgusted expression, and said without hesitation, "The son of a demon cultivator is a vile spawn. If you are pregnant, I will kill you with my own hands today and get rid of 2 demons. Xuanrua Dai." Cheng Jia raised his arm to stab, and Chu Seong's eyes became visibly cold when he spoke, and a layer of frost covered her face. When he stabbed over, her eyes sharpened, and a murderous aura rose from her body. She didn't dodge or avoid, and raised her hand to slap him. "I'll kill you." Cheng Jia was shocked when he met her gaze, and he quickly dodged backwards, knocking into the props behind him and falling down. Chu Seong pulled him back to his feet and asked, "Teacher Cheng, are you all right?" Cheng Jia looked at her in shock. "I am fine." Crack. "Cheng Jia, what's wrong with you? Why are you hiding?" Director Lee stood up in annoyance. That scene just now was too good. They could have passed with just one take. In the end, Chu Xiong didn't have any problems, but Cheng Jie screwed up. Cheng Jie wasn't someone who didn't know his limits. Cheng Jie hurriedly apologized. I'm sorry, Director Lee. Just now, Chu Xiong really looked like she wanted to kill me. I got into character and was really shocked. I'm sorry, I'm fine now. I'll definitely pass the next round. After he said that, everyone finally reacted. Was that Chu Xiong acting? Who said that Chu Xiong's acting was bad? They didn't even dare to breathe loudly just now because they were afraid that Chu Xiong would target them. What kind of godly acting was this? She was simply Xuanrua herself. Director Lee looked at Chu Xiong and shouted, "Continue acting. Follow along with the next scene." The props team and the makeup artist came forward to fix the two of them. They even hung wires and stuffed blood bags into their bodies. They continued from where they left off. Chu Xiong's shoulder was stabbed, and Cheng Jie was sent flying with a slap. Chu Xiong didn't seem to feel any pain. She flew in front of Cheng Jie and slammed her palm heavily on Cheng Jie's dantian. Ah! Cheng Jie fell down with a face full of pain. He screamed, "Vicious woman! You've destroyed my cultivation. Vicious woman! I should have killed you long ago. You vicious demoness, you deserve to die." Chu Xiong stood there quietly. It was as if she was looking at him, but also as if she wasn't looking at him. Cheng Jie was still cursing. She raised her right hand and placed it on her abdomen. She gently caressed it and then slapped her abdomen. Blood slowly appeared at her feet, but she smiled. "Now between you and me, there's no more ties." The camera zoomed out, but Chu Xiong's smile made everyone unable to return to their senses. They couldn't tell if she was happy or sad, hateful or unwilling. Chu Xiong clearly didn't shout or have a face full of hatred, but she gave people a very anxious feeling. It was as if she was already covered in bruises, and then she personally cut off the ties that shouldn't exist. That was to save her own life. From now on, she was still herself. She was still the witch, Xuanrua. The scriptwriter who had been silent all this time pulled Director Lee excitedly. "She's Xuanrua. She's exactly the same as the Xuanrua I imagined. No, she's even better. Chu Xiong is amazing. Xuanrua should be like her. Director Lee, Chu Xiong is my favorite character in the entire script. There's no other character. Please don't cut her scenes. Look at how good Chu Xiong is, it's too good, right? If she's good at acting, why should we cut her scenes? Just make some adjustments and make her character a little more profound." The scriptwriter said excitedly, "I'll edit it tonight. I'm bursting with inspiration." The string in Director Lee's heart loosened. He smiled and called Chu Xiong over to show her the playback. "She acted very well, even better than me and you. I was really afraid that you'd be possessed by the Roaring Emperor. If that happened, I wouldn't know how to cut it. Chu, how do you understand Xuanrua?" The scriptwriter looked over from the side. Chu Xiong didn't even think about it. Xuanrua became evil. Later on, she did a lot of unforgivable things. She's ruthless. A ruthless person wouldn't be sloppy and hesitant. She always knows what she's doing. If she wants love, she'll hide her identity and not care about her status. If she wants to be heartless, she'll be completely ruthless. She won't leave any ties behind. When she loves, she'll be as heartless as when she's heartless. Moreover, you've betrayed me, so I'll definitely make you suffer 1,000 times more than me. Director Lee looked at her and felt an inexplicable chill down his spine. He suddenly understood why Cheng Jie was so immersed in the role. When Chu Xiong talked about Xuanrua, she really seemed to be Xuanrua herself. Moreover, the scene of her aborting the child was really creepy. Director Lee coughed lightly and smiled. You've understood it very well and made preparations. It seems that we'll be able to finish filming soon. It just so happens that everyone's in good condition. Go take a break and change your makeup. We'll shoot a few more scenes later." Chu Xiong nodded and looked at the scriptwriter strangely. Why was this person staring at her? The scriptwriter's eyes lit up even more. He walked over excitedly and said, Chu Xiong, can I add you on WeChat? I want to talk to you about Xuanruo's role. Tao, give me my phone. Chu Xiong exchanged WeChat with the scriptwriter and chatted for a while before going to the dressing room. No matter what, she used to be a top celebrity. Now that she was back, her popularity didn't decrease. She was a first-rate actress. She used the dressing room alone. It was quite peaceful. She looked at the script and asked the makeup artist to change her makeup. She read the script very quickly. The makeup artist asked curiously, Chu Xiong, have you read the script before? Seems very familiar. No, I just received the script today. I thought that I would get used to it for 2 days. I didn't expect to start filming in the afternoon. The makeup artist said in surprise. Then you remember your lines so quickly. You didn't get a single word wrong. Also, you acted really well just now. I think the audience will cry when they see this. It's so uncomfortable. Chu Xiong smiled. If it was some modern character, she wouldn't be able to understand it easily. But a female demon cultivator. Wasn't that her? Even if she didn't know how to be entangled with love and hate, she had seen it so many times. Acting was easy and didn't need to think at all. Tao sent everyone afternoon tea during her break in filming. Then she came back to talk to her. Sister Xiong, you and Lin Jiawei were filmed this morning. The internet is going crazy now. Lin Jiawei regretted it and realized that you're his true love. The makeup artist had already left. Chu Xiong closed her eyes to rest. She smiled and said, True love? Lin Jiawei only loves himself. I just happened to be his canary in the past. Don't worry, he won't harass me in the future. Uncle Dong will take care of the things on the internet. We just need to focus on filming. I know, Sister Xiong. You acted really well just now. No wonder the teachers in these companies always praise you for your improvement. This movie will be released soon. When the time comes, many people will be shocked. Sister Xiong, you're going to amaze the audience. Tao was really happy for Chu Xiong. It was as if she was also proud of her. Chu Xiong thought about Xianruo's character and said with satisfaction, This role is really suitable for my first comeback movie. I hope my fans will be happy when they see it. They'll definitely be happy to death. I'm also a Xiong fan. Tao opened her phone and showed Chu Xiong her WeChat group. There were several large groups of Xiong fans. She had entered the fan club. However, she was also a Xiong fan. She chatted happily with them in the group. The Xiong fans in the group were talking about Lin Jiawei's comeback. Some Xiong fans were worried that Chu Xiong wouldn't be able to resist Lin Jiawei's pursuit. After all, Lin Jiawei had pursued Chu Xiong indiscriminately. This Chu Xiong would fall for it. If Chu Xiong and Lin Jiawei remarried, they would vomit to death. Tao saw it and helped them ask, Sister Xiong, you really don't plan to get back together with Lin Jiawei, right? Course. Is it not fun to film or is it not good looking? Why would I get back together with a scumbag? That's good. I represent the Xiong fans to be relieved. Tao mischievously said and typed a string of words in the group. Trust me, Xiong. Who is Lin Jiawei? Is he worthy of my Xiong turning back? At most, we'll crowdfund together and buy a wolf dog for Xiong. Chu Xiong glanced at her message and found it funny. What are you doing? Won't it be troublesome if Chu Xiong buys a wolf dog later? That's good. Let Lin Jiawei see if he can be compared to a wolf dog. Sister Xiong, it's not a big deal to be in a relationship with a younger man. There are plenty of wolf dogs and puppies. If you meet one, you must be brave. Moreover, you're only 24. Even if you like someone older than you, there are many. Look who's that. Chu Xiong pressed down on her phone and said speechlessly, Forget it. I'm busy with work. How can I have time to go on a date? If you want to introduce me, you should wait until I'm free. Okay, Sister Xiong. You'll definitely become popular again soon. When the time comes, you'll have a romantic relationship. You'll be successful in both your career and love. Those haters will be so envious. We'll see. Let's go and take the next post. Chu Xiang took the script and walked out. Tao lowered her head and sent another message in the group. Xiang Xiang is focusing on her career. Everyone keep a low profile. When Xiang Xiang comes out with a new work, it'll be time for us to celebrate. The Xiang fans in the group quickly followed the trend. Xiang Xiang is focusing on her career and will never look back. Lin Jiawei won't have a chance. I'm looking forward to Xiang Xiang's work. I really want to see Xiang Xiang on TV soon. I love Xiang Xiang. I'm waiting for Xiang Xiang's new work. Chapter 49. Chu Xiang adapted very well to the cast. Most importantly, she acted well and brought Xuanruo's character to life. She acted even better than the third female lead who had left before. Naturally, everyone could accept her and would happily express their goodwill. After all, if she acted well, the filming would be completed quickly and everyone would be able to leave earlier. At night, when she returned to the hotel to rest, Chu Xiang brewed the medicine and took the herbal bath as usual. The stage supervisor, assistant director and scriptwriter who came to her one after another smelled the strong smell of medicine, and the news of her drinking the medicine spread. The scriptwriter had just checked all the recent news about her, and when he came to her for the second time, he asked curiously, "Chu Xiang, is the Chinese medicine you brewed really beautifying?" Chu Xiang nodded. "It's true. My skin wasn't in good condition before. Since I'm back, I want to take good care of it." The scriptwriter looked at her smooth and tender skin and exclaimed, "Your skin isn't in good condition. It's already so delicate, okay?" Chu Xiang touched her face. "It's still a long way to go before it's so tender. Previously, my skin was rough and dark, and I didn't look energetic at all. It's different now. It's all because of the past half a month of recuperation." The scriptwriter widened his eyes in disbelief. "This medicine is so effective. How much does it cost?" "It's about 10,000 yuan per batch. It was tough in the beginning. Now, if you want better effects, you can only use high-grade medicine." The scriptwriter withered when he heard that. "I wanted to ask you for a formula." "Forget it, it's so expensive. I can't afford it. Let's stick to your role. I think you acted very well and could completely express Xuanruo's emotional changes. Then I think we should portray Xuanruo more deeply. This way, the audience will remember her better and like this character more. Although Xuanruo is a villain, in my heart, she's a very charming villain. I didn't write her charm, but you did. So I hope we can discuss it together and present the best Xuanruo to the audience. Then what direction do you want to change? Look, I'll tell you my idea." Chu Xiang leaned on the sofa and gathered spiritual energy to nourish her body while listening to the scriptwriter. The scriptwriter really liked the role of Xuanruo. Chu Xiang felt very lucky because the first role she took on was met with a production crew that strived for perfection. The scriptwriter simply couldn't stop writing the script. If it wasn't for Chu Xiang stopping her, she would have used all the good plots she could think of on Xuanruo. However, some of them were just the screenwriter's fantasies. They didn't fit the true psychology of a demonic cultivator, so they were all rejected by Chu Xiang. The script that was polished this way was even better. After the final revision, Xuanruo was no longer just a villain, but a pitiful person that could make one's heart ache. However, she didn't need anyone's pity because she would do whatever she wanted to do herself. Even if she failed and her soul was scattered, she would have no regrets. Her husband destroyed her love, so she destroyed her husband's cultivation. Those hypocritical righteous cultivators destroyed her home, so she exposed their true colors and exposed their selfish actions. The righteous cultivators became angry out of humiliation and chased after her, so she killed all her enemies. In the end, she was defeated by the male and female protagonists, so she fell off a cliff and died with a smile. Before she died, she also exposed the scandal of the righteous cultivators, leaving them a lot of trouble. From the beginning to the end, this character was straightforward and didn't suffer any grievances. She was cruel and merciless, but she could also be as gentle as water. She was never afraid of death, But before she died, she must make her enemies suffer a fate worse than death. This kind of character was the easiest to like. Even if she affected the innocent and viewed all the righteous cultivators as shameless, she was still more likable than other characters. She was more popular with the audience because all her changes started from the prejudice of the righteous cultivators. The more the scriptwriter thought about it, the more she liked it. When she left, she happily hugged Chu Xiong and smiled. "You're really my lucky star. Your understanding of Xianrua gave my script the finishing touch. I never thought I'd have such a charming villain in my script. Did you know that charming villains are harder to write than popular protagonists? In recent years there have been very few outstanding villains. Our protagonist is very good at fighting, and now the villain is also so good at fighting. This drama will definitely explode." Chu Xiang smiled. "I'll take your auspicious words. I also want to borrow the wind when this drama explodes." "What wind?" "When the time comes, you'll be the hero. Do your best, we all have high hopes for you." The scriptwriter left in high spirits. Looking at her direction, she didn't plan to go back to her room. She might still need to discuss the script with the director. The scriptwriter didn't know what method to use to convince the actress, but in the end, the director decided to use the version that Chu Xiong helped to edit. The female protagonist, Xia Fei, wasn't very happy when she received the script. In the past, Xianrua was a complete villain. When she and the male protagonist destroyed the villain, the audience would definitely cheer. But now, Xianrua was pitted and then destroyed by them. Would the audience be happy? Their favorability towards them would definitely fluctuate. Xianrua still wanted to stir up trouble before her death, planting a huge bomb to cause internal strife. The audience would definitely feel good about Xianrua. Why did they have to let a third female lead be so outstanding? Wasn't this stealing her limelight? Xia Fei privately went to talk to Director Li and felt that this wasn't right. However, Director Li had already thought it through. He only promised her that the overall tone of the drama wouldn't change. The male and female leads would still be outstanding, but a good villain would set them off better and bring the drama to a higher level. There was no room for discussion. Xia Fei could only sullenly accept it. On the surface, she was still smiling at Chu Xiong. Who asked Chu Xiong to be inserted by Zhou Yi? She couldn't afford to offend her. During filming, Xia Fei tried to suppress the scene and teach Chu Xiong a lesson. Who knew that not only was Chu Xiong unaffected, she even made her NGs a few times. In the end, Xia Fei and Chu Xiong filmed 4 scenes together and didn't get any benefits. She was so angry that she left without looking back. It was also because of this incident that everyone in the production crew witnessed Chu Xiong's capabilities and sincerely acknowledged her acting skills. Director Li was also very attentive and had strict requirements for Chu Xiong. She strived for perfection in every aspect. While shooting good scenes, he also polished Chu Xiong's acting skills. Perhaps Director Li had only agreed to Zhou Yi out of politeness in the beginning. But now, Director Li really liked Chu Xiong and was willing to guide her. Chu Xiong finished filming 10 days of scenes in advance. The entire production crew was jubilant. She also benefited a lot from being on set and experienced a very interesting life. However, once the completion photos were released, the netizens couldn't sit still. Who was the person in the photos? Wasn't that Chu Xiong? Why was she standing beside the director? Why was she wearing a costume? Who on earth made Chu Xiong go back to acting? The netizens searched carefully and quickly found out that Chu Xiong was wearing Xianrua's costume in the set photos. Then, thinking back to the incident with the actress who played Xianrua, how could they not guess that Chu Xiong had taken over the role? But Xianrua was a ruthless villain. Didn't Chu Xiong act as the silly and sweet female lead in an idol drama? Was the director serious about casting her? Did he not consider the feelings of the book fans? Xian Zong was especially popular and had many fans. Ever since the news of it being adapted into a TV series was released, the book fans had been worried that the TV series would ruin the book. It was only when the production crew revealed that the screenwriter was the original author that the book fans were relieved. But who would have thought that Chu Seong would join them when they were about to finish filming? The book fans jointly boycotted and strongly requested the director to reshoot Xian Rua. If they really couldn't do it, they could just cut out Chu Seong. Just think about a well-made TV series, but the moment the villain appeared, the style of the series would change. Who would be able to watch it then? Seong Seong's fans weakly retorted. Seong Seong is already different from before. Her performance in the live broadcast is proof. She is not weak at all now. Instead, she is very aggressive. Yang Seong's fans, shut up. Do you believe that Chu Seong can act well as the villain? If she can act well, I'll eat my keyboard live. Seong Seong's fans are the same as their fans. They are all silly and sweet. They must think that Chu Seong's acting is very good. I don't want to watch it anymore. I don't want to watch it. I have a feeling that this series will be lower than 4 points. A rat's poop spoils the whole pot of soup. Although I admit that Chu Seong is good-looking and has a good sense of variety, her acting is really awkward. She doesn't know how to act, yet she insists on acting. Isn't she just scamming the fans? Only the fans will watch it. Seong Seong has filmed 3 dramas in the past. They were all relatively short and didn't have much time to learn and perform. However, it's a fact that each one is better than the last. I believe that she will be better than before. Oh, she wants us to pay for her learning. Why doesn't she film after she learns well? Isn't it just to make money? I despise her. A third female lead is standing beside the director and squeezing the male lead away. Think about the reason yourself. Get lost. Acting is acting. What's the meaning behind it? Seong Seong despises Lin Jiawei. Would she look for a director just to film? Is there something wrong with her brain? With the resistance of the book fans, the ridicule of the haters, Lu Rao's suspicion, and the unconfident protection of the Seong Seong's fans, the official Weibo account of Mysterious Sect was in a mess. Hazy finally caught a black mark on Chu Seong. It was as if he had turned out in full force. Now that he had caught this black mark, he was going all out to attack her. They even made a video of Chu Seong's awkward first time acting into a picture and posted it on the screen. Chu Seong's awkward acting skills could be seen everywhere, and passers-by felt that Mysterious Sect might not be good to watch. The Seong Seong fans were going crazy in the group. They had just attacked the haters a few times, especially when Trash Lin came back last time. They had dealt a heavy blow to the haters and thought that they wouldn't have to see the haters for a long time. Who knew that Chu Seong would suddenly go to act? And it was the highly anticipated Mysterious Sect. This was like poking a hornet's nest. Wasn't this a loss of popularity? What could they use to fight back against the haters? They didn't have enough confidence. It wasn't right to bite the bullet and fight back. It would be easier for Chu Seong to be criticized. Peach sent a message in the group. It's confirmed. Seong Seong acted super well this time. Brothers and sisters, feel free to fight back. Seong Seong won't let us down. A bunch of people in the group asked her how she got the news. Of course, Peach couldn't. She could only swear that the news was definitely true. Otherwise, Director Lee wouldn't have used Chu Seong. Some of the Seong Seong fans were very young and impetuous. If she swore that she would take the news seriously and fight back against the haters. However, just as they had been worried, no one would stand on Chu Seong's side if she used her acting skills to fight back against the haters. The passers-by felt that the Seong Seong fans were too brainless to protect her this time, and the book fans naturally wouldn't accept it. Chu Seong's good momentum since her comeback finally changed. Those who didn't like her were waiting to see her make a fool of herself and how she would court death. Chapter 50. Neither the production crew nor Chu Seong responded. Chu Seong only sent a barefaced photo to her fans. I'll be meeting everyone soon. After recuperating for so long, Chu Seong's looks were really good. Even in a barefaced selfie, she was still beautiful. The fans returned to their home base to lick their screens, hammering Chu Seong's looks. There was really nothing to say about this. Only a few haters would lie through their teeth and couldn't understand Chu Xiong's beauty. Most people, including passers-by, thought that maybe the role of Xuanrua had chosen Chu Xiong purely because she was beautiful enough. Looking at it this way, Chu Xiong looked really good in the witch costume in the rap photos. Her makeup was poles apart from the naive and sweet image in the past. The corners of her eyebrows and eyes were raised at just the right angle, making Chu Xiong's sweet face look sharp. Her long black hair was like a waterfall, her red dress embroidered with dark patterns, and the red flower between her eyebrows all exuded a sense of evil. Just looking at the photos, she really looked like a witch. Some passers-by who preferred to look at faces silently changed their minds. I'm convinced by Chu Xiong's face. If she wants to be the #1 beauty in the demon world, I think Chu Xiong can do it. Actually, Chu Xiong's role is only the third female lead. She doesn't necessarily have that many scenes. This drama has always been an excellent production. The director definitely won't destroy the Great Wall. Don't worry, everyone. Maybe the director saw that Chu Xiong's acting wasn't good and reduced the villain's scenes. Her later addition definitely won't affect the whole drama. Don't think too much. Just wait and watch the drama. Of course, there were also book fans and haters who said, I won't watch it with Chu Xiong in it. Whoever watches it is a coward. However, the production crew wouldn't be threatened. Director Lee was well aware of Chu Xiong's acting skills, so the production crew wasn't anxious at all. They were as steady as Mount Tai and didn't say a word. On the other hand, the scriptwriter posted on Weibo to appease the book fans. He definitely wouldn't let them down. However, book fans might not necessarily be fans of the author. Sometimes they might even feel that the author did not care about his book for the sake of money. Thus, this matter caused quite a stir for 2 days. However, the Xiong dynasty fans had already returned to their base camp and no longer appeared. The book fans' comments and the haters' brainless attacks made them seem a little aggressive. This matter was left unsettled just like that, and Chu Xiong even gained a bunch of fans for her looks. After Chu Xiong rested for 2 days, Uncle Dong called her to the company for a meeting to discuss her future work. The acting teacher had been asked by Uncle Dong to go to the set to watch Chu Xiong act. When he came back, he was full of praise for Chu Xiong. But he still thought that Chu Xiong had performed exceptionally well this time. She had improved every time in class, but not to this extent. Then the next script would have to be carefully considered. With a good start, every work in the future would have to play to its strengths and avoid its weaknesses. Only then would it be able to develop in a better direction. The music teacher and dance teacher felt that Chu Xiong should strengthen her singing and dancing. Thus, they did not consider releasing albums or singing and dancing announcements for the time being. The only thing that they did not need to continue monitoring was Chu Xiong's body. Her body had been getting better over the past month. Her figure and skin had reached the standard of excellence. They did not need Chu Xiong to come to the company for training anymore. The operations department and the public relations department supervisor gave some suggestions. Then, Uncle Dong took out 3 scripts, 5 variety shows, and 2 advertisements for everyone to discuss. One of the scripts was a police and gangster film. The film crew had taken a fancy to Chu Xiong's skills in the variety show and invited her to play the role of a policewoman. This was a web drama. The production budget was limited. The actors' acting skills were also ordinary. Only the male lead and the villain boss were good actors. Although the policewoman was the female lead, the focus was on the male lead and the villain boss. The female lead scenes could only be filmed in the third place. She did not even have half of the role of the villain boss. This was because they had taken a fancy to Chu Xiong's popularity. With such a role, as long as Chu Xiong had the looks and skills, it would not be too bad. She could definitely pass. The acting teacher said, "The role of a policewoman. If Chu Xiong wants to play it, she must first go to the police station to observe or use other methods to understand the characteristics of a policewoman. I feel that her skills and lines are fine. Why? It just gives people a sense of injustice." The acting teacher smiled. Chu Xiong's performance on the set was really amazing. She seems more suitable to play the villain. Chu Xiong said, I can overcome this. I will pay attention to this aspect of my performance in the future. Uncle Dong nodded. The reason why this drama was brought over is because the male lead's acting skills are off the charts. You also know him. It's Liao Zhe, who you did a mission with during your first live broadcast. He alone can carry an entire web drama. With the addition of the villain, this drama is even more stable. I feel that it will be a hit. However, the others do not have much of a presence. If you want to play it, you must act especially well. Otherwise, you will definitely be overshadowed. In short, this is an opportunity but also a little risky. Let's look at the other two dramas. The second drama was about women in the workplace. The female lead married into a rich family and became a full-time housewife. Her husband was cold and not good at expressing himself. He was also busy with company affairs and rarely paid attention to the female lead's feelings. The female lead's mother-in-law made things difficult for her all the time. On her husband's side, the second female lead caused a lot of misunderstandings. The female lead couldn't take it anymore and asked for a divorce. Then she studied and worked hard in the workplace. As her position got higher and higher, she became more confident and powerful. Her ex-husband had always loved her. He slowly learned how to express his feelings and how to deal with family matters. He seriously pursued her once again, and the two of them were reunited. After listening to the introduction, Chu Xiong shook her head without waiting for others to speak. I'm not taking this drama. The first half is too similar to my real life. If the second half is connected to my real life by the audience, it will be very uncomfortable. Also, I don't think there's anything to change with the male lead's personality. The second male lead is obviously better. Everyone looked at each other. The head of the public relations department said, I think Chu Xiong might prefer a role that is quick to repay kindness and revenge. Actually, I also think this is more suitable because Chu Xiong's image after her comeback is self-confident and self-reliant. It's easier to solidify her fans if she plays a more straightforward role. She can try out other roles later. It's a good opportunity to hone her acting skills. Uncle Dong nodded and passed on this script. The third script was a palace drama. It was a big IP and excellent production. The female lead was a big drama. The whole drama was about the intrigue between the women in the harem. Chu Xiong was the third female lead in the drama. She was a brainless and merciless imperial concubine who loved the emperor deeply. The director of this drama knew Director Li. He heard from Director Li that Chu Xiong's ruthlessness as Xianrua scared the other actors in the drama. That was why he found Chu Xiong. This character was actually naive and sweet. It was similar to how Chu Xiong acted before, so it shouldn't be a problem. She just needed to control her expression and eyes and say a few vicious lines. If her acting skills were bad, she could just NG a few more times. At least her face would definitely fit the role. Uncle Dong said, Chu Xiong's acting skills don't have a good reputation. We can't find many opportunities to act. Although we know that Chu Xiong's acting is good, no one else knows. Most of the roles that Chu Xiong acts in have a purpose. I think that if we directly let Chu Xiong play the female lead, it'll be easy for the audience to dislike it before it's broadcast. If it's a second or third female lead, everyone won't be so against it. When the drama is broadcast, it'll prove Chu Xiong's ability. Naturally, there will be better opportunities waiting for us. This way it'll be more stable. What do you think? The operations manager nodded and said, Actually, there are 2 other dramas that we've contacted, but they're all idol dramas. I think we should avoid this genre for now. We don't want the audience's impression of Chu Xiong to be fixed in a naive and sweet idol drama. Chu Xiong looked at the filming time and number of scenes. She said, I want to take the role of a policewoman and the role of an imperial concubine. Can we discuss with them about filming on both sides? Uncle Dong muttered, These 2 dramas don't treat you as an important character. You don't have many scenes, so they don't necessarily care about this. But I still plan to let you act in a variety show. It'll be too tiring for you to film on both sides. Chu Seong smiled and said, "It doesn't matter if it's tiring. I just feel that I have too few works now. Every time I see my fans' comments, they still want to see my works. I have a feeling that I'm too relaxed now. This web drama only has 16 episodes, and it's the male lead's drama. I don't have many parts. As for the palace drama, I'm confident that I can grasp the role of an imperial concubine well. The filming will go smoothly, so I hope to film on both sides and let the fans see more works as soon as possible. Of course, if it's not suitable, then forget it and accept the palace drama." Uncle Dong waved his hand. "It's fine. I'm familiar with the directors on both sides. As long as it doesn't delay the filming, it won't be a problem. Everyone, let's watch the variety show." There was a variety show about love between amateurs. Chu Seong would be an observer in the studio to observe amateurs in love. Then she would express her views on love and marriage. Chu Seong had never seen such a show before. She asked doubtfully, "Do nothing but watch TV and talk? Will anyone see it like this?" The operations manager smiled. "This kind of variety show is very popular now. It's easy for people to immerse themselves in the show. There's also the effect of the celebrities themselves. I think it's time for people to pay attention to your love life. Your words will make you a hot topic. You can express some of your own views on this show and make everyone believe that you're not a materialistic girl, not a lovey-dovey person, and definitely not going back to the past. What do you think? Listening to you, it seems to be the case. I don't know much about this. You guys can decide." Chu Seong wouldn't arrogantly make decisions about things she didn't understand. It was better to leave it to the professionals. The other variety show was a task-based variety show with 6 regular MCs. Every episode had different challenges: seed ejection, water battles, high-altitude building blocks, and so on. There were also all kinds of interesting and cheeky games. The overall show was very happy and there were many viewers. The original female MC had to shoot 2 movies and had no time to take care of it. Hence, Uncle Dong recommended Chu Seong. Previously, Chu Seong had shown an outstanding sense of variety in her 2 live broadcasts, so the other party didn't hesitate to agree. Uncle Dong said, "This is purely an opportunity that I snatched by relying on favors. Many people are eyeing this vacancy. From the perspective of increasing national popularity, I'd rather take on one less drama than miss this variety show." The operations manager didn't want to give up on the variety show. He said, "You can film more variety shows. If you have time, I suggest you take on both." Chu Seong asked Tao to project her schedule on the big screen. Seeing that there was still some time for her to rest, she supported her chin. "I think the workload can be bigger." Chapter 51. After consulting with a nutritionist, Uncle Dong decided on 2 TV series, 2 variety shows, and an endorsement for Chu Seong. The endorsement was for a high-end brand of milk that was highly popular in the country. Chu Seong knew that he had used Uncle Dong's connections again. Actually, which one of her jobs wasn't because of Uncle Dong? Uncle Dong had used so many connections for her. After the meeting, she called out to Uncle Dong and said sincerely, "Thank you, Uncle Dong." Uncle Dong closed his laptop and smiled at her. "If you want to thank me, then do your job well. Don't let me down. When I retire, it's all up to you." Chu Seong said without hesitation, "I'll only make you proud." Uncle Dong shook his head and laughed when he heard her arrogant words. He pointed at her with his index finger. It's fine if you're at home. Don't say such things when you're outside. Many people are staring at you," he said earnestly. "Actually, it's not all because of my old face that you can get these resources. If you can't do it, they won't joke about your work. For example, I sent them a video of you dancing in the practice room without makeup. You met the requirements for this milk endorsement. You still have to meet the other party and see them in person before you can sign the contract. Therefore, connections are the most unreliable thing in the entertainment industry. If you do well, it can be the icing on the cake. If you don't do well, there might not be anyone to help you. You have to work hard to return to school. Chu Xiang's eyes were full of confidence. Don't worry, Uncle Dong. I definitely won't embarrass you. The door of the meeting room opened and Zhou Yi leaned in. When he saw Chu Xiang, his eyes lit up. You're done with the meeting. How was it? I've decided on 2 TV series, 2 variety shows, and an endorsement. Everyone screened them together and they're very suitable for me. Chu Xiang looked down and saw that he was carrying a big bag full of spicy sticks, instant noodles, beef tendons and other snacks. She raised her eyebrows. President Zhou, what are you doing? Zhou Yi lifted the bag and asked with a smile. Let's watch TV together for a while. Uncle Dong, you must be tired after chatting for so long, right? Come and hang out in my office. Uncle Dong looked at him and then looked at Chu Xiang. He stood up with his notebook and cup and cleared his throat. I still need to make a call to confirm that I've got the resources. Strike while the iron is hot. Don't let anyone steal it. You guys have fun. Zhou Yi stepped aside and patted Uncle Dong on the shoulder as he walked over. With his back to Chu Xiang, Zhou Yi winked at him. Uncle Dong, you've worked hard. I'll give you a bonus at the end of the month. Uncle Dong didn't know whether to laugh or cry. If he hadn't already talked to Chu Xiang, how could he be at ease leaving Chu Xiang behind? However, when he thought that it was still uncertain who would be the one to fall into the trap, he decided to just leave. Anyway, she had a premonition that Chu Xiang would not be the one to fall into the trap. Zhou Yi walked in and put the bag on the table for Chu Xiang to see. I bought a lot of snacks. They're all great for watching TV. Do you want some? Is there anything you don't know about today's contract? Do you want to watch that love variety show? Chu Xiang's gaze moved from the snacks to his face. She found that his eyes were full of expectation. It was more than when they first met. She was very familiar with this kind of gaze. Ever since her cultivation reached the upper middle level of the Devil's Path, this kind of admiring gaze had surrounded her and had never disappeared. She had seen all kinds of admirers. Zhou Yi was one of the types that could attract her attention. He had a good-looking face, a good figure, a sense of humor, and a sense of propriety. He was not entangled. It was very comfortable to get along with him. She stood up and slowly curved her lips. Okay, let's watch a love variety show. Zhou Yi immediately showed a good-looking smile. When Zhou Yi turned on the TV, Chu Xiang saw the love variety show at a glance. At first glance, she knew that Zhou Yi had chosen it in advance. She looked at Zhou Yi with a smile. Zhou Yi looked at her without avoiding her gaze. He pretended to scare her. I know your schedule like the back of my hand. Are you afraid? Chu Xiang smoothed her hair and sat down beside him. She turned her head and asked him with a smile. Director Zhou, you can't help but want to pay attention to my schedule. Are you afraid? Zhou Yi smelled a pleasant floral fragrance. He couldn't help but secretly take a breath and chuckle. I've never known what it means to be afraid. I'll do whatever I want to do. Didn't you do the same in the interview before? That's right. Otherwise it would be boring to be restrained. Chu Xiang looked at the TV. Seeing that the show had already started, she had no intention of continuing. She focused on watching the host introduce the love observer. Zhou Yi glanced at the TV. He took out all the snacks from the bag and put them on the table. He opened a pack of spicy sticks and handed it to Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang took it. She knew what it was from her memory, but she had never eaten it before. She took a bite. The spicy taste with a hint of sweetness stimulated her taste buds. She felt that she had more saliva in an instant. She curiously took another bite. The spicy taste tempted her to take another 3 bites, then a 4th. Unknowingly, she finished the pack of spicy sticks. Zhou Yi came back with 2 glasses of lemonade. He was surprised to see the empty bag. You didn't leave a bite for me? You like snacks so much. Chu Xiang threw the bag away without changing her expression. I haven't eaten it for many years. I've forgotten what it tastes like. Then you must like it too. It's better than spicy sticks. Let me open it for you. Zhou Yi took a pack of konjac, opened it and poured it on a plate. He took a fork and put it in her hand. The red spicy oil on the plate looked very appetizing. Chu Xiang forked a piece of konjac and put it in her mouth. The pure spicy taste was indeed better than the spicy sticks. It was bouncy and a little crunchy. It gave her an inexplicably refreshing feeling. She looked at the male and female guests on the screen testing each other in the room and eating konjac. She suddenly understood why Zhou Yi was so good at chasing dramas. She couldn't help but look at the other snacks. Zhou Yi saw the look in her eyes and knew what she wanted. Shredded pork, spicy duck neck, fried bean skin, fish and shrimp scallops, pickled pepper chicken feet, spicy fish balls. Chu Xiang only cared about watching TV and eating. When she finished the food in her hand, new snacks were sent to her. Zhou Yi leaned on the sofa and watched her eat. Her mouth was full and he felt his heart being hit lightly. He reached out to pick up a fish ball and put it in her mouth. Chu Xiang opened her mouth and ate it while watching TV. Zhou Yi felt the pad of his finger that had touched Chu Xiang's lips become hot. He rubbed the tip of his finger and smiled silently. He bought snacks just to let Chu Xiang feel that he was more down to earth and not so distant. He didn't expect to see another side of Chu Xiang. Chu Xiang looked at the snacks with a dazed and a little longing in her eyes. It was really too cute. It was completely different from her usual ladylike appearance. Apart from him, who else could see Chu Xiang's private side? Zhou Yi suddenly felt a strange sense of satisfaction. The feeling of his heart swelling came inexplicably, but it was surprisingly pleasant. It made him feel like he was floating. He took out 2 boxes of instant noodles and heated up 2 boxes of hot pot. Chu Xiang smelled the aroma and looked over. Zhou Yi smiled. It's noon. Why don't we eat out and just eat this? Bae. Chu Xiang nodded. She really hadn't eaten instant noodles before. Ever since her cultivation reached a decent level, she had been eating all kinds of delicacies, spiritual fruits, and demonic beasts. The taste was so delicious that it couldn't be compared to the delicacies of the mortal world. In her previous life, she had eaten many private dishes and delicacies from various countries. However, she had never eaten so-called junk food. The fragrance of the instant noodles kept wafting over. The temptation was completely different from other delicacies. It made people want to try it. When she looked at the instant noodles for the 3rd time, Zhou Yi opened the lid. He stirred the noodles and brought the box to her. I know that there's a street full of food in the night market. Why don't we go and try it? Chu Xiang took a bite of the instant noodles. The unique taste made the corners of her mouth curl up. She asked curiously, "Is this what you eat in the street full of food?" "No, it's all freshly made." Zhou Yi knew that this was the right step. He explained, "The night market has grilled squid, lobster, odin, fried crispy meat, and all kinds of delicious food. You'll know when you see it. However, if you're discovered, you'll definitely be surrounded. We'll disguise ourselves before going." Chu Xiang nodded. "It'll be easy to disguise. No one will recognize me." The TV show reached the first date of the male and female guests. The observers were analyzing who they liked. Chu Xiang stopped talking and focused on watching. Zhou Yi took the self-heating hot pot and leaned over to Chu Xiang. They were guessing who the guests really liked. After some time, Uncle Dong knocked on the door and told Chu Xiang that they had secured the resources. Only then did Chu Xiang realize that the whole afternoon had passed. The tea table was full of packaging of all kinds of snacks. She was full. However, after circulating the Reiki in her body for a week, all the food was digested. Chu Xiang found that there was nothing left in the bag of snacks. She was a little disappointed. Seeing this, Zhou Yi couldn't help regretting that he didn't buy enough snacks. However, he was full. Chu Xiang was a big eater. Uncle Dong looked at the junk food on the tea table, shook his head and laughed. "You can watch it. I'll get off work first. Chu, you should go back and rest early. You have to sign the endorsement contract tomorrow." "Uncle Dong, I'll go with you." Chu Xiang got up and smiled at Zhou Yi. Thank you for watching TV with me for the whole afternoon. I'll ask the cleaner to clean it up. Zhou Yi hurriedly looked at his watch and got up. It's late. Let's have dinner together before going back. No, I ate a lot just now. Chu Xiang secretly looked at Zhou Ye's bulging belly and said with a smile, I want to go back and read the script. Mr. Zhou, you should get off work early too. Chu Xiang smiled and said goodbye. Then she took her bag and left with Uncle Dong. Zhou Yi leaned on the sofa and pondered for a while. Was he thrown away after being used? He got up and chased after them. He heard Uncle Dong ask Chu Xiang, How did you feel in the afternoon? There was a hidden meaning in his words. Uncle Dong was helping him to sound her out. Good job. Zhou Yi lightened his footsteps, pricked up his ears and held his breath to eavesdrop. Then he heard Chu Xiang's answer. The snacks were very delicious. I plan to ask Tao to buy more and bring them to my house later. By the way, I already know what characteristics the observer of a love variety show needs. Uncle Dong, don't worry. I'll do my best. Zhou Yi stopped. Very good. She didn't mention anything about him at all. Moreover, Chu Xiang and Tao would eat and watch TV together at home. He wasn't the only one who saw how Chu Xiang looked like in private. So, didn't that afternoon look like an empress eating leisurely while Zhou Yi waited on her by the side? Why did he suddenly feel that the road of chasing his wife was so far away? Chapter 52. Chu Xiang went to meet the milk brand without makeup. The person in charge made the decision as soon as he saw her. Her skin was too good. It was white and tender, which was the effect they wanted. Chu Xiang took on 5 jobs at once. Although they were not done at the same time, she still had to go to various places to be busy. Shooting commercials, taking print photos, taking makeup photos, starting promotions, recording shows and shooting movies. She was busy from morning to night almost every day. If it was an ordinary person, they would definitely be exhausted. However, she had spiritual energy to nourish her body and took medicinal baths every time. Not only did she not feel tired, but she was also in an excellent state. Last time, the matter of Chu Xiang acting as the witch of dark sect was left unsettled. However, everyone did not forget that Chu Xiang's TV series and variety shows were officially announced again. When the photos were released, it suddenly felt very unreal. Chu Xiang just made a comeback, right? Why does she have so many resources? Is she a top star? What top star? Didn't you see that she's acting as the 3rd female lead? The first female lead in web dramas is similar to the 3rd female lead. That's the male lead's drama. However, variety shows have amazing resources. After Lin Lin got off the car, she spent a lot of time staring at Super Hot Star. But Chu Xiang snatched it away. Amazing. I won't watch Super Hot without Lin Lin. Lin Lin is irreplaceable. Who the hell is Chu Xiang? How can an outdated idol replace Lin Lin? Are you kidding me? They're not on the same level at all. Sweet Love Song had very high ratings last season. I'm looking forward to what Chu Xiang will say in the show. I bet her words will be amazing. Maybe the production team likes Chu Xiang because she's a hot topic. Isn't she a hot topic now? Does she have any representative works? I'm confused. It's fine if she's on variety shows. Chu Xiang has a good sense of variety. I'm looking forward to her acting in variety shows. But why does she want to act? Don't you know how good her acting skills are? How big is Deep Palace? The first and second female leads are all good actors. Chu Xiang is actually the 3rd female lead. Can you imagine a bunch of scheming concubines fighting and a silly and sweet concubine popping up? It's still a vicious wind. I'm afraid it'll turn into a brainless drama. I think Chu Xiang's role in Target should be alright. She's a police officer after all. Those who have seen her live stream know that she's quite skilled. Just take it as the time when she twisted Zhu Yujia and pretended to be a police officer. Who would remember that? He's too handsome, okay? I was seduced by her. I'm a fan of Liao Zhe's, I support her. You don't even want to watch Chu Xiong's dramas. Just give up on variety shows. You just ruined Dark Sect. Don't ruin other dramas. The Public Relations Department had long expected that Chu Xiong would be questioned. After all, it was a fact that she did not have any representative works. However, those words that questioned her were just like the wheels of a car. They came and went, and couldn't hurt Chu Xiong at all. The job had already been set. Peach asked Chu Xiong's fans to stay calm and look forward to Chu Xiong's new works in a low-key manner. Because she occasionally revealed some insider information, she was now a very influential fan in the fan group. Xiong's fans listened to her very well and didn't panic at all. Xiong's fans didn't fight with others, and passers-by just casually said a few words. It was already normal for haters to flame her. Even netizens who didn't watch these things knew that Chu Xiong was always being attacked by others. There was nothing wrong with it. However, under the official Weibo of Target and Deep Palace, there were people leaving comments, hoping that they would consider the audience's feelings and replace Chu Xiong. Of course, it was impossible to replace her. Chu Xiong's first film was a milk commercial. In the organic farm, Chu Xiong wore plain clothes and pants. Her hair was tied into a low ponytail behind her head. She looked like the girl next door, pure and gentle. She wore disposable gloves and used a brush to scrub the cow's body. The corners of her mouth curved into a happy arc, and her eyes were full of tenderness as she looked at the cow. The cow seemed to be very comfortable. It raised its head at her, stuck out its tongue, and leaned towards her face. Chu Xiong hurriedly dodged back and let out a clear and pleasant laugh. She hugged its head with both hands and rubbed it. A person and a cow were playing under the orange sun. The background was blue clouds and green grassland. In the distance, there were groups of cows eating grass. Natural, relaxed, warm and smiling. It made people unconsciously feel relieved. The scene changed. Chu Xiong was squatting beside the cow, holding a big bucket of rich milk in her hands. She closed her eyes and revealed an intoxicated smile. Under the camera, Chu Xiong's skin was tender and delicate. It was as delicate as the milk in the bucket, full of silky bliss. A line of words slowly appeared at the bottom of the screen. Natural, healthy, nutritious. Mellow milk, real natural milk. This commercial was not only broadcast during CCTV's primetime, but also before and after a popular variety show sponsored by the milk factory. Opening Weibo would automatically play this commercial. There were also promotional posters hanging on the walls of many supermarkets, subways, and bus stations. Chu Xiong suddenly appeared in everyone's vision. Even the milk cartons were printed with her pure and beautiful smile. I can't help it. I love Chu Xiong to death. I'm praising Chu Xiong's beauty. Her skin is really good. She looks so good even without makeup. She's so beautiful. I want to pinch her face. Ah. Chu Xiong's face is still the face of first love. He's so pure. Playing with the cow is too much of a violation, right? My heart is moved. Confess to my goddess. Chu Xiong's face without makeup looks like a pure school belle. She looks like the little sister next door. This scene is too beautiful. I want to buy a few cartons of milk to drink. I want Chu Xiong's good skin. Sob, sob, sob. Chu Xiong is a bad student who has never been to university. How can she be a school belle? Don't forget that she's divorced. How can she have a pure sister? Her skin will be better after drinking a few mouthfuls of milk. She's cheating you. Look at how much makeup she uses in private. Also, this is a beauty filter, okay? Chu Xiong's bare face is an anti. There was nothing wrong with this advertisement at all. Chu Xiong's beauty was also impeccable. The haters' stomping feet were all mocked by the passers-by. Everyone had eyes, okay? In terms of beauty, the haters of Chu Xiong were probably blind. As for the fact that she had never been to university and was divorced, what was so funny about that? Chu Xiong's current height was something that many people could not reach in their lifetime. From the advertisement, she looked pure and lovely. So what? There was even a method that if Chu Seong played the pure female lead, she would definitely pass the pass line. Stop staring at the evil character. Chu Seong's advertisement made her trending again. This time it was all about her looks. The haters took a close-up shot of her when she had just returned and participated in the live broadcast of Xiong 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 Xiong. Chu Seong's skin is good. Come and take a look. Chu Seong's makeup has faded after the exercise. Can you see her haggard state clearly? There were also photos of her when she had just been discharged from the hospital. See if she's an auntie? Is this a 24-year-old face? He's clearly 34 years old. Tao immediately retorted. Who's in a good state after being discharged from the hospital? That was a hospital, not a beauty salon, okay? Take a look at Sister Seong's pictures from the time she was discharged from the hospital until now. She was discharged from the hospital, artist bear or not, outdoor missions, very quiz, and finally this commercial. Sister Seong's skin is getting better and better, okay? Peach also said in the fan group that Chu Seong would be barefaced in the commercial, without any filter. She was just so good at fighting. Of course, the fans were willing to believe in Chu Seong. They forwarded the pictures of the Peach. When these pictures were placed together, the contrast was really obvious. The haters insisted that Chu Seong's good condition were all photoshopped pictures and filters. Anyway, no one knew each other on the internet. If they didn't like her, they would unreasonably criticize her. However, the topic had already gone off topic. No one paid any attention to them. Everyone was discussing how Chu Seong took care of herself. How did she manage to restore her skin to that of an 18-year-old in just over a month? Her natural beauty couldn't be helped. However, if one really looked at the pictures, they could tell that Chu Seong's condition wasn't very good at the beginning. Her skin was dark and a little haggard. It was just that she was especially listless. In the end, the one in the commercial was simply the nation's first love. No one doubted that she was an 18-year-old girl. The female netizens were all crazily Chu Seong, asking her about her skincare methods on Weibo. Someone suddenly remembered. Wasn't there a leak before that Chu Seong bought Chinese medicine to beautify her skin? That's right, that's right. Could it be that Chu Seong changed so quickly because she used medicine to nourish her body? That's right. Only a healthy body can have good skin. But what magical medicine is so amazing? There won't be any side effects, right? I also nourished my body. My skin didn't get better after drinking medicine for half a year. My cousin is a staff member of the Dark Sect production team. She saw Chu Seong in the hotel room and smelled like Chinese medicine. She went to the production team with a travel bag full of Chinese medicine. Sister Seong, where did you go? Come out and save us. We also want fair and tender skin. Down. If Chinese medicine was better than cosmetics, it would have been exposed long ago. Maybe Chu Seong is the filter effect. There were all kinds of things on the internet, but everyone was really curious about Chu Seong's skincare methods. Some netizens compared Chu Seong's entire body and found that her figure had become better. It was as if her entire body had been refined. It was too magical. Chu Seong had invested in a foreign company with this idea. When the CEO of the foreign company heard the news, he immediately called her. Seong, did your skin really change in a month? Chu Seong replied, yes, what's the matter? My God, you really have a secret skincare method, right? Wouldn't it be a pity if you didn't share such a good secret recipe? If we use Chinese medicine to enter the domestic market, it will be very beneficial to open up the market. Are you right? Only then did Chu Seong remember that this was a high-end cosmetics company. There was indeed room for manipulation. This company's products had high sales overseas, but their reputation in the domestic market was average. They had failed miserably in the domestic market. Chu Seong had come up with a foolproof idea during their crisis to avoid losses. She had also gained a firm foothold in the domestic market. That was how she became a senior consultant of this company and received a generous salary. Chu Seong thought for a moment and smiled. Course I have a secret recipe. My transformation is the best endorsement. But if I share such a magical secret recipe, what benefits can I get? That little reward is not enough. The other party said straightforwardly. Come to the company and discuss it in detail. If it is really effective, we will be working partners. Our company has always been very generous to working partners. What do you think? Course I will check the schedule and let you know when I arrange the time. Please also consider how much profit you can give me in advance. If I am not satisfied, I may sell the secret recipe to other companies. Chu Xiang smiled and finalized the new way to make money. She also had to thank those haters. If it were not for them picking on her, she would not have thought of using her skincare method to make money. Chapter 53. Chu Xiang's secret recipe was good stuff, so negotiating was not a problem for her. After meeting with the company's CEO, Jensen, she received a 30% bonus from the cosmetics line and the permanent endorsement of the cosmetics line. When signing, Jensen exclaimed, "I can't believe that you're just a celebrity in the entertainment industry. You make me doubt my ability." Chu Xiang smiled as she signed. "Who can't be an investor? Being a celebrity is just my interest. Happy cooperation." Happy cooperation. Jensen personally sent Chu Xiang out of the conference room and politely hugged her at the elevator door. "Oh, Xiang. I hope we can continue to work together. I like you really, you're amazing." When the elevator door opened, Zhou Yi stood there facing their hug. His fingers moved slightly as he restrained himself from pulling Jensen away. Behind him was Jensen's assistant, who stepped forward and introduced, "Boss, this is the general manager of the Zhou Group, Mr. Zhou Yi. Mr. Zhou, this is our boss." Jensen and Chu Xiang had already separated. Zhou Yi asked with a fake smile, Xiang, why are you here?" Jensen asked, "Do you know each other?" Chu Xiang smiled. "That's right, this is my boss." Jensen was pleasantly surprised. What a coincidence. In China's words, it's fate, we're really fated. "Mr. Zhou, let's talk in my office." Zhou Yi walked to Chu Xiang's side and shook hands with Jensen. He continued with a fake smile. "Sorry, I suddenly remembered that I have something important to discuss with Xiang. Can we make an appointment next time? Course you guys go do your important things first." Jensen naturally agreed. Chu Xiang said goodbye to Jensen. Before leaving, she said, "I hope that your formula will be successfully completed and the cosmetics line will be released soon." "Definitely." Jensen smiled as he watched her walk into the elevator. He looked at her as if he was looking at a treasure. This was the goddess that brought him huge profits. Zhou Yi was extremely displeased. As soon as the elevator doors closed, he couldn't hold it in anymore. However, he couldn't ask directly, so he probed, Xiang, are you friends with Jason?" Chu Xiang took out her phone to check the schedule and casually replied, "Yeah, are you here to cooperate with him? Jason is a good person to work with." For the first time, Zhou Yi experienced what it felt like to be a lemon on the internet. Why had Chu Xiang never praised him like that? Zhou Yi glanced at Chu Xiang's side profile and cleared his throat. "Aren't you busy today? What about Tao and the others? You came here on your own." "They left after dropping me off. I don't know how long Jason and I will talk for, but after we're done, we'll call a cab and head straight to the filming location." When the elevator reached the parking lot, Chu Xiang put away her phone and looked at him. "By the way, you were looking for me for something important. Is it about work?" Zhou Yi hurriedly made up a reason. "There's a charity banquet, and many big shots in the industry will be there. I wanted to ask if you're going." Chu Xiang refused without thinking. "No, my work schedule is very full recently, and my resources are very stable at the moment. It's not a good thing to jump ranks." She didn't know how many banquets she had attended, so of course, she was more interested in filming. Besides, she really didn't need to meet any big shots now. It was too early. She would only have a job after her show was broadcast. Zhou Yi nodded and let her get in the car. I'll take you to the filming location. It's at the aquarium, right? Chu Xiang took out the makeup remover in her bag and began to remove her makeup. In her mind, she had already started the filming process. Zhou Yi glanced at her. When he started the car, all he thought about was the moment when the elevator doors opened, the scene of Chu Xiang and Jason hugging, and the way Jason looked at Chu Xiang at the end. It was really dazzling. After a few minutes of silence, he asked, "You and Jason are friends. Why did you put on makeup to see him? Now you have to remove it. How troublesome is that? Isn't it good to be like this in front of me?" Chu Xiang wiped off the eyeliner and replied, "Makeup is basic etiquette when discussing business. You're my boss, so you can be more casual." When Zhou Yi heard "one of us," he raised the corner of his mouth and immediately said in surprise, "Discussing business? Your previous investment was with Jason. It's considered one of the partners. By the way, they will soon launch a makeup line and have signed me as the permanent spokesperson for this line. This brand is a high-end brand, and it's considered my first luxury brand endorsement. Can you help me pass the contract to Uncle Dong?" Zhou Yi immediately thought of the 2 rumors about Chu Xiang changing her face on the internet. She had used a miracle drug to change her face and crazily Chu Xiang. He couldn't help but smile. "So you're here to talk about cooperation. Okay, I'll take the contract back. You're too much of a burden for the company. You're even talking about a luxury brand endorsement. Don't worry about this. I've already asked someone to help you contact the right resources. It won't stop." Zhou Ye's tone was too different from before, and it finally attracted Chu Xiang's attention. She raised her head from the mirror and looked at Zhou Yi. She raised her eyebrows and silently asked him what he meant. Zhou Yi restrained his smile and was silent for a few seconds. He looked at her and admitted defeat. "Sorry, I just couldn't help it. I thought you and Jason. I was overthinking." Chu Xiang recalled what Zhou Yi had said just now and realized that Zhou Yi was jealous. She took a new wet wipe and wiped her face again. She didn't care and said, "It's okay." She didn't say anything, but Zhou Yi felt uncomfortable and looked at her again and again. When he saw that she had removed her makeup and closed her eyes to rest, he finally said, "Aren't you going to give me a response? I've already made it so obvious. You should at least let me know where I stand and what to do next." Chu Xiang closed her eyes. "I'm only interested in being a star recently. I'm not interested in dating. Besides, I might not have time to date in the next few years." Zhou Yi heaved a sigh of relief when he didn't hear her say that she didn't like it. He said patiently, "How can you not have time in a relationship? We can keep it a secret. If you're busy, I can look for you." Chu Xiang opened her eyes and looked at him in confusion. "Why would you look for me when I'm busy? To see me busy?" Zhou Yi choked and thought for a moment. "Seeing you busy, that's fine too. You always have time to eat and rest. Can't we be together then? Then what's the fun in dating me? It's better to find a beautiful girl who's free to play with you in the office. Isn't dating for fun? It's the same as not looking for someone like me who's busy from morning to night." Zhou Yi thought about what she said and actually felt that he couldn't refute it. He coughed twice to calm down, found a seat on the side of the road and stopped. He turned to look at her and said seriously, Xiang, I'm not looking for a random person to fall in love with. It's because that person is you that I want to fall in love. If it's someone else, I won't go to school. So, if you're busy, I'll be happy to see you. Then, when you're done with work, won't you be happy to have me with you? I know your career is on the rise, and I plan to slowly take over the business at home. We can meet when we're free. Chu Xiang's heart didn't move at all. She felt that this was similar to being a furnace in the immortal cultivation world. When you're busy, you'll have fun. When you're busy, you won't care. Zhou Yi recommended himself so strongly just for a little time when she wasn't busy. What a strange person. She looked at her watch and reminded him, let's go to the aquarium first. I want to get to know everyone before the shooting starts. Private matters can be left for later. She turned to Zhou Yi and smiled. I'm not in the mood to have one more person around me recently. When I want to be alone, I'll look for you, okay? Oh. Zhou started the car a little blankly. Did he feel that something was wrong? Why did these words sound so trashy? He was still the trashy one, but he actually felt a little happy because Chu Xiang meant that she would look for him when she wanted to be in love. Did this mean that he had succeeded? On the way to the aquarium, he didn't know whether he had succeeded or not. He always felt that he had been tricked by Chu Xiang. When Chu Xiang was about to get out of the car, he grabbed Chu Xiang and asked doubtfully, "Are you afraid that I'll pester you, so you're just perfunctory with me?" Chu Xiang found it funny and said, "Then what do you want? I don't have time. This is the first time I heard that you don't like to be in love because you don't have time. So do you like me?" Zhou Yi looked at her and held his breath, wanting a definite answer. Chu Xiang told him the truth. "I prefer myself at any time. So, for me, love is not as important as what I'm interested in." "Is it dispensable?" Zhou Yi let go of her. After she got out of the car, he lowered the window and asked one last question. "Then can I look for you?" "Yes, go back." Chu Xiang waved at him and turned to walk into the aquarium. Zhou Yi kept looking at her back and slowly sorted out her meaning. She didn't hate it, but she didn't like it either because she didn't think about it at all. She just wanted to be famous. This was the first time he knew that a star refused the pursuit of a big shot in the entertainment industry for the sake of being famous. The reason was that she didn't have time to be famous. Well, it was also very amazing. However, if Chu Xiang wasn't unique, would he be attracted to her? Just now, because of the sudden confession, Chu Xiang's answer was beyond his expectations, and he was a little caught off guard. Now that he had calmed down and regained his rationality, what kind of reason was this? He could pursue Chu Xiang in her free time. Zhou Yi called the head of operations and asked for Chu Xiang's detailed schedule. Of course, it was not easy to pursue an interesting soul. He had to make the first move before others knew how good Chu Xiang was. Chu Xiang soon found that when she was busy filming 2 variety shows, no matter which city she flew to, she could see Zhou Yi after work. Sometimes he would eat with her, sometimes he would bring her a bunch of snacks, sometimes he would accompany her to the swimming pool to relax, and sometimes he would just leave after a glance at her. Because Zhou Yi didn't interfere with Chu Xiang's working time at all, she didn't feel bad when there was one more person in her free time. So naturally she got used to it. Even Tao and Brother Yong were used to disappearing when Zhou Yi appeared. Anyway, Zhou Yi took care of Chu Xiang better than they did of their aunt, so there was no need to worry at all. As Zhou Yi got closer to Chu Xiang, he felt that he was more like Zhou Zi. Chu Xiang's heart wasn't with him at all. The only fortunate thing was that none of the other men could catch Chu Xiang's eye. He began to work hard to make his presence known and strive to rise as soon as possible. He also secretly ordered a set of manservant's suit, intending to give Chu Xiang a big surprise on her birthday. Chapter 54. Chu Xiang's birthday hadn't arrived yet, but her photos of the variety show had been posted on the internet. When she was filming Super Hot Star, because there were a lot of outdoor activities, she often ran on the street to do tasks. Many fans and passers-by could see her, so the photos were exposed. This variety show often involved sweating profusely, so Chu Xiang never put on makeup. When the other MCs took a recent photo of her, they exclaimed on the spot, "Isn't she too good-looking? She's even better than in that milk commercial." There was actually a fan who shouted at Chu Xiang's back, "Chu Xiang, did you drink Chinese medicine to improve your skin?" Chu Xiang turned around and smiled at her. "The secret recipe is not suitable for everyone. I sold it to a cosmetics company. When they launch a series of cosmetics, I'll tell you." The fan didn't expect her to respond. She nodded excitedly and shouted, "I love you so much. I'll definitely buy it." Then there were shouts of "I'll buy it too," and "I'll buy it too." All of a sudden, the scene seemed to have become Chu Xiang's fan meeting. However, her fans might only be 1/10 of the total. Chu Xiong smiled and waved at them. Then she turned around and quickly ran away to continue her task. The fans who took photos and videos of her immediately posted them on the internet. Chu Xiong once again made it to the hot search because of her good looks, and the netizens once again focused on her delicate skin. This time, the haters couldn't continue to use filters to slander Chu Xiong. They were all saying that Chu Xiong wouldn't watch Super Hot Star, that Chu Xiong wasn't as good as Lin Lin, and so on. Xiong Xiong's fans hurriedly commented that teacher Lin Lin was awesome, and that Xiong Xiong would learn from teacher Lin Lin and shoot well. No matter how many people slandered a hot search for her good looks, they couldn't slander her. It was like someone. Am I the only one who can't get Chu Xiong's good looks? I never thought she was good looking. Soon a bunch of people would reply to him. You're a person. Of course you're a person. You're so amazing. You're the best. Your eyes are fiery eyes. They're different from what others see. Who can have the same aesthetic standards as you? Earth can't hold you anymore. Please hurry up and fly to the horizon. This time, Chu Xiong was called a beautiful woman from every angle on the internet. The netizens also listed the famous beautiful stars of the past 20 years and posted pictures of them at their peak. In the end, they unexpectedly found that they were not as good as Chu Xiong. Chu Xiong had completely defeated everyone in the trending searches. Many netizens really wanted to watch Super Hot Star. With Chu Xiong's looks and Chu Xiong's desperate efforts in the Reuters video, they felt that it would be very interesting. Wasn't Chu Xiong's previous live stream very good? It was full of variety. Another thing that caught everyone's attention was the cosmetics mentioned by Chu Xiong. Everyone was guessing which company had bought Chu Xiong's secret formula. It just so happened that Johnson had already produced a series of cosmetics. After discussing with Chu Xiong, he took the opportunity to announce a wave of advertisements. The netizens were a little dumbfounded. Is it Family S? I'm using their cosmetics. It's very good. I want to buy the cosmetics series. I've used it overseas. I don't feel that it's suitable for Asian skin, so I didn't buy it when I saw it in China. It's made with Chu Xiong's secret formula. It's definitely suitable for us. Buy. When can I buy it? Bu Xiong is really good. She actually sold it to a big brand. At least the quality is guaranteed. I'll buy it. I'm looking forward to the launch. Family S and Chu Xiong were trending together. They were successfully promoted to the entire internet before the launch of the cosmetic series. They even saved a lot of advertising fees. Johnson directly opened the online store for pre-sales. Once this channel was opened, the pre-sales of the cosmetic series skyrocketed. Johnson was shocked by Chu Xiong's influence. Previously, he felt that giving Chu Xiong 30% of the profits was too much. Now he felt that this bonus was simply too worth it. The sales of the other series of cosmetics in the store were driven. Where could he find such a good partner? Johnson called Chu Xiong. Chu Xiong said, Xiong, I really love you so much. Your secret formula is superb. Your influence is also superb. I have a feeling that the cosmetic series will amaze everyone. How about we celebrate together? Chu Xiong was swimming in the pool and asked Zhou Yi to answer the phone. Zhou Yi wanted to tell Chu Xiong that she was busy. But thinking about Chu Xiong's character, he raised the phone and told her. Chu Xiong swam to the side and asked Zhou Yi to put it on speaker. Congratulations, Johnson. Unfortunately, I'm very busy and can't celebrate with you. I wish you success in advance. Johnson said regretfully. That's a pity. I also booked a mountaintop restaurant. Must be beautiful. When you're not busy, can I have the honor to eat with you? Zhou Yi squatted beside Chu Xiong and looked at her. Chu Xiong felt that he was like a pitiful dog. She smiled at Johnson. Let's talk about it when we have time. Sorry, I'm really busy. Okay then. Bye. Zhou Yi put away the phone and said to Chu Xiong. He's up to no good. Chu Xiong turned and swam into the water again. Her voice came from afar. Is he different from you? They were both pursuers. What was the difference? Zhou Yi understood the meaning behind her words and was a little angry. He had worked hard for so long and he didn't even get this treatment. He took off his bathrobe and jumped into the water. Under the water, he swam quickly toward Chu Xiong. Zhou Yi went to Chu Xiong's side and hugged her waist, pulling her into his embrace. Chu Xiong's hand fell on his chest. There was only the fabric of Chu Xiong's swimsuit between them. Zhou Yi approached Chu Xiong and asked tentatively, "What's the point of swimming alone? Do you want me to accompany you?" He didn't let go at all. How could she swim? He was obviously hinting at something else. Chu Xiong touched his muscles and smiled. "You've worked out well." Zhou Yi was about to move when Chu Xiong pushed him aside. "I have to read the script. I have to report to the crew tomorrow. I don't have time to play. Just for a while." "How is that possible?" Chu Xiong looked at him strangely. Zhou Yi immediately understood and hurried to explain. "That's not what I meant. I didn't want to waste your time. I'm in good health." Chu Xiong waved her hand. "No. I'm going back to my room to read the script now." Chu Xiong pushed him away again without any reluctance. She swam ashore and left without looking back. Zhou Yi lay on the water, feeling hopeless. Did Chu Xiong think that he couldn't do it? Just for a while. The phone on the shore rang again. Zhou Yi didn't want to pay attention to it, but when he heard that it was Chu Xiong's phone, he quickly swam ashore and took out his phone from his bathrobe. The screen showed that it was Uncle Dong, so he picked it up directly. Uncle Dong was used to it, so he didn't feel strange that he answered the phone. He told him that the full trailer of Xuanzong had been released, and it was scheduled to be broadcast during the summer vacation. When the traffic was at its highest, it would definitely attract a lot of fans. Previously, only some short trailers of Xuanzong were released. Director Li pretended to be suspenseful. In order to maintain a sense of mystery, he didn't let Chu Xiong show her face even once. The book fans and netizens thought that the crew couldn't resist the petition and cut Chu Xiong. But this time when the full version was released, they all exploded. Zhou Yi hung up the phone and searched for the news on the internet. He took it back to the room and showed it to Chu Xiong. Of course, most of the book fans still didn't believe in Chu Xiong's acting skills. Chu Xiong had acted in 3 TV series before, and it was hard to explain. How could they believe that Chu Xiong was different from before with just a few minutes of the trailer? Therefore, most of the book fans still resisted and kept making noise. Some of the book fans were stunned. The Chu Xiong in the trailer was the Xuanrua in their hearts. It was too stunning and they were super looking forward to seeing the full version. The bystanders weren't as excited as the book fans. After seeing the trailer, they only felt that it was too short. They really wanted to continue watching. They really wanted to see what would happen in the next second when Chu Xiong pressed on her stomach. It felt so fierce and scary. If Chu Xiong could scare them, they were willing to wait for the show to be broadcast. Lu Rao's focus gradually shifted to Chu Xiong's looks. After all, he couldn't see anything else now. But this face was really beautiful every time he saw it. Chu Xiong's appearance as a witch was too stunning. Even the S family's makeup was pulled out again. Who asked the witch in the show to be so beautiful? Chu Xiong roughly flipped through the comments and realized that there was no room for the haters to mess around this time. Her performance in the trailer was impeccable, and her face was also extremely good-looking. Forcefully criticizing her could only show that they were retarded. Only a few people were willing to jump out and show their IQ. Unknowingly, there seemed to be fewer haters in the news about Chu Xiong, and more fans and passers-by. It felt much more peaceful. Zhou Yi leaned beside her. Xuanzong is going to be broadcast soon. At the same time, Super Hot Celebrity will be broadcast. In 2 months, Sweet Love Song will be broadcast, followed by Target. At the end of the year, Deep Palace will be broadcast. You'll be active on the screen for the next half of the year. Are you happy? Chu Xiong looked at the script unhappily. It's okay. Zhou Yi had chased her for so long and more or less understood her mentality. He leaned his head against the script and looked at her from below. He smiled and said, "Other than these, you can participate in other shows. For example, Xiong 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 only records one episode. It's only for a while. If you participate in more shows, you'll have more chances to appear on the screen." Chu Xiong looked at him. He continued, "Dong Boheo from Xiong 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 has asked his agent to contact Uncle Dong. He hopes that you can participate in the next episode. Will you go?" "Why not?" Chu Xiong never felt tired. Since she was interested in the entertainment industry, it was good to be busy 24 hours a day. She took out her phone and called Uncle Dong and Dong Boheo respectively. Soon they discussed this matter. Since her public appearance on Very Quiz, she had not appeared on any other shows. There was still a month before the broadcast of Xuanzong. She could show her face on the show to increase the popularity. Dong Boheo was overjoyed when he received the news that Chu Xiong was coming. He had wanted to challenge the world's scariest haunted house, but no one was willing to go. Chu Xiong did not seem to care about the haunted house at all. He had a feeling that this episode would be very interesting. This time, to attract the audience, the show released the trailer in advance. In the next episode, Dong Boheo and Chu Xiong would challenge the world's scariest haunted house. No one had ever walked out from the other side of the haunted house. All of them had been scared halfway and retreated. Before the netizens could recover from the trailer of Xuanzong, they found out that Chu Xiong had gone to the haunted house. Their first thought was that Xianru was going to destroy the haunted house. Then, many netizens reacted and started to comment. "Chu Xiong, even if you want to be famous, don't go looking for trouble. There's a reason why no one has succeeded in that haunted house. It's scary." Chapter 55. Chu Xiong filmed 2 scenes on the set of Target, and took a leave of absence to film The Artist Is Not a Bear overseas. The filming of Target was very easy because most of the scenes were between Liao Zhe and the villains. She only filmed 2 scenes with Liao Zhe, and both were completed in 1 take. Liao Zhe knew that she was going to the haunted house with Dong Boheo, and the way he looked at her changed. "Sister Xiong, how stupid are you to agree to his request?" He went around looking for people but no one answered him. "Brother Dong is crazy. He does whatever he wants. You're already 50 years old, yet you're going to challenge a haunted house. Are you trying to be a bear?" Chu Xiong didn't care. If he wasn't a bear, would the production team let him be the MC? "Do you want to go with us? We can recreate the golden duo." Liao Zhe wanted to go, but he didn't want to go to a normal haunted house. Dong Boheo wanted to go to the world's #1 haunted house. He reluctantly sent Chu Xiong onto the plane. In the end, he solemnly held Chu Xiong's hand and said, "Take care." Chu Xiong didn't know whether to laugh or cry as she bade farewell to him and flew overseas. Zhou Yi was already on the plane waiting for her. He said sourly, "Are you close to him? Is he so reluctant to part with you?" Chu Xiong took out the police and robbers file and said perfunctorily, "You know who I'm close to and who I'm not. What are you asking?" Zhou Yi silently closed his microphone. "Can't I just ask? Isn't she giving me the cold shoulder?" Before the plane took off, Zhou Yi searched for Liao Zhe's information on his phone. He was a popular student with excellent acting skills and was very hardworking. He seemed to be what Chu Xiong liked. He looked at Chu Xiong's focused expression and knew that Chu Xiong wanted to study the righteous character of the police. She would be annoyed if he disturbed her, so he could only kill time alone. He took out his laptop and decided to look through the backlog of documents, remembering that his special assistant was going crazy with work. Fortunately, his old man was still healthy. Otherwise, he wouldn't even have the time to chase his wife. Dong Boheo had already arrived at the city where the haunted house was located. Once Chu Xiong got off the plane, he urged Chu Xiong to adjust to the time difference. He was full of anticipation for the trip to the haunted house. Zhou Yi was still invisible and couldn't be discovered, so Tao and Brother Yong were still by Chu Xiang's side. Chu Xiang arrived at the scene and greeted everyone in the production team. Before filming started, she received a call from Zhou Yi. Zhou Yi asked worriedly, "Are you a little scared? If you do, then don't shoot it. I have a way to fix it. After all, it is the world's #1 haunted house." Chu Xiang said without hesitation, "I'm fine with it." What kind of monster had she not seen before? Besides, there were no ghosts in this world. Zhou Yi sat in the car and looked at her from afar. "I'm just around the corner in the southeast. Come and find me whenever you feel uncomfortable." Chu Xiang looked to the southeast and smiled. "Don't worry, I'm really not afraid." The live stream started, and the audience saw Chu Xiang and Dong Boheo standing at the entrance of the haunted house. It was the haunted house that no one could enter. Chu Xiang was wearing a red sleeveless knee-length dress, and Dong Boheo was wearing a black shirt and black pants. Standing in front of the haunted house, they looked inexplicably scary. "Why do I have goosebumps already? We haven't even entered the haunted house yet. These two are amazing. Chu Xiang is so popular. Won't she look like a ghost in the haunted house? Brother Dong is so dark. Can we still see him in the haunted house?" The director waved at Dong Boheo. Dong Boheo said, "Chu, it's not too late to regret. Are you leaving or not?" Chu Xiang stepped toward the door. "Since we're already here, it'd be too cowardly if we don't go in and take a look. Brother Dong, did you bring your heart-relieving pills?" Dong Boheo, "You think too highly of me. Today I will bring you out from the other side and set a new record. Do you believe me?" Chu Xiang pushed open the door and turned to smile at Dong Boheo. "Brother Dong, you talk too much. Are we still going in or not?" Dong Boheo took out the pills from his pocket and looked at them. After confirming that they were real, he strode into the haunted house. Brother Dong really brought the heart-relieving pill. Sister Xiang knows Brother Dong so well. She had seen through Brother Dong's trembling heart. "Sister Xiang, please protect Brother Dong." Thinking of Sister Xiang's victory last time, Brother Dong was panting heavily. "I can already foresee the result of today's live stream. God bless Brother Dong. I'm so scared. But what should I do? Although Chu Xiang is good at extreme sports, this is a haunted house. She will definitely be scared. After all, they are all girls." The production team actually got the authorization to film in this haunted house. Awesome. I must watch everything. Even if I don't want to go to the haunted house, I must watch the live stream. When the director heard the feedback from his assistant, he was very satisfied. This was just the beginning and it was already so popular. The viewership for this episode would not be bad. He looked at the increasing number of viewers in the live stream and smiled so widely that his eyes narrowed. Zhou Yi was also watching the live stream, but he did not tell Chu Xiang that he was actually very, very afraid of ghosts. As a neighbor, he knew Chu Xiang's situation. He curled up in the car and turned on the live stream. His face was pale. Chu Xiang and Dong Boheo walked into an old castle. It was not completely dark inside, but there was a kind of dim and oppressive candlelight. The castle was clean, and everything was neatly arranged. However, because this was a haunted house, the neater the place was, the more unsettling it was. This was because they could not observe any place that might be strange. Chu Xiang looked around. The decoration is not bad. The ghost who lives here should be of a high status. Dong Boheo was stunned and looked around. "You're looking at the decoration in a haunted house? That's a strange way of thinking, Chu." Chu Xiang shrugged. She heard some movement behind the stairs and walked over. "Brother Dong, did you hear that? There's something there." Dong Boheo licked his lips. I didn't. Don't scare me." "What movement?" Chu Xiang walked to the stairs. Suddenly, a wind blew in the castle, and the candlelight flickered. The light in the castle suddenly became very dim, and from time to time, shadows appeared on the walls. Dong Boheo immediately ran to Chu Xiong and grabbed Chu Xiong's backpack. He opened his eyes and looked into the darkness. Chu Xiong was speechless. "Brother Dong, are you afraid of ghosts? Then why did you challenge this?" I just want to experience it in my lifetime. It's only once in a lifetime. Of course I want to experience the most special thing. You come with me. Don't run away alone." Dong Boheo did not act like a 50-year-old brother at all. He was so scared that he was about to cry. Chu Xiong was silent for a moment and asked seriously, "If there are ghosts, do you still want to watch? Or do you want to just go out?" Oh! Chu Xiong bent down and picked up a dead bat under her feet. Ah! Dong Boheo suddenly saw the bat covered in blood and screamed in fright. He grabbed Chu Xiong's hand even tighter. "Oh my God, I was scared to death. What the hell is this? This is a tortured bat. It's covered in wounds and has lost an eye. It's so scary. Bats are not ghosts. What's there to be afraid of?" Brother Dong's psychological trauma is 2333. Chu Xiong shook the bat and said, "This is a high-quality imitation. Don't be afraid. It's just a prelude." Dong Boheo was already staring at the ground and did not dare to look anywhere else. Chu Xiong saw this and led him upstairs. As they walked, she said, "Should we recite the core socialist values?" What values?" "Prosperity, democracy, civilization, harmony, freedom, equality, justice, rule of law, patriotism, dedication, integrity, friendliness." What's the use of reciting these overseas? Ghosts overseas won't understand. Can you speak foreign languages? Use a foreign language to recite. Bang! Ah! Dong Boheo jumped down the stairs and hugged Chu Xiong's backpack tightly. He was so scared that he was trembling. Chu Xiong looked at the living room and comforted him. The chandelier fell and broke. "It's not a ghost." Dong Boheo had just calmed down when he heard Chu Xiong say, "But the ground is covered in blood. I don't know where it came from." Dong Boheo immediately hugged Chu Xiong's backpack tightly and looked down. He did not even dare to make a sound. Chu Xiong simply pulled him upstairs and went straight to the door at the end of the hall. "Blood, blood, blood. The ghost is coming out." "Where is it? Where is it? This kind of ghost that doesn't come out is the scariest. I don't know where it will come from. It seems like they're playing a horror game." Chu Xiong actually dares to open the door. "Do you hear the sound? So scary." "Hear it? What's that sound? I'm alone at home." A strange sound suddenly came from the castle. It sounded like the crying of a ghost. Dong Boheo was so scared that he did not dare to open his eyes. He lowered his head and leaned against Chu Xiong's backpack, not daring to slow down. Chu Xiong pushed the door open and took a step inside. Suddenly, a person hung upside down from the door and happened to hang between her and Dong Boheo. Dong Boheo instinctively looked up and saw a gloomy and ugly face. It was unusually scary in the dim light. "Ah, Chu Xiong. My mother. What the hell is this? What the hell is this? Turn it off. I don't dare to look anymore. It's too scary." Chu Xiong turned around in the next second and grabbed Ugly's shoulders. She threw Ugly directly onto the carpet. She quickly looked around and pressed Ugly's hands against the carpet. "Chu Xiong. Chu Xiong, Chu Xiong." Dong Boheo squatted by the wall and screamed with his head lowered. He did not dare to open his eyes or run away. There was blood everywhere. Where could he run to? Chu Xiong shouted twice and said loudly, "Brother Dong, it's fine now. It's fine now. I've already captured this person." People who were trapped in fear had lost their rationality. Dong Boheo had already used up all his rationality to not run away. He could not hear Chu Xiong at all. He kept screaming for Chu Xiong's name. Chu Xiong lowered her head and exchanged a look with Ugly. Ugly was still doing his job to create a scary atmosphere. He opened his mouth and gave Chu Xiong a creepy smile. Chu Xiong had seen more evil spirits than Cho Cho, so she was not affected at all. She dragged Cho Cho to Dong Boheo's side and pressed Cho Chow's face to the ground. She pulled Dong Boheo and said, "Brother Dong, you'll lose your fans if you do this. You have to pretend that you're not afraid. It's really fine now. Get up and follow me." Dong Boheo opened his eyes with trembling hands. When he saw that it was Chu Xiong, he was slightly relieved. When he lowered his head and saw Ugly's clothes, he got a fright again. He scrambled to hide behind Chu Xiong. "I'm not afraid through the screen. I just feel that Brother Dong is very cute. He's so different from his usual self. I'm so scared. But why do I feel like laughing when I see Sister Xiong pressing Ugly to the ground? Sister Xiong, are you too engrossed in filming Target?" Chapter 56. Chu Xiong patted Ugly's shoulder and asked in a foreign language, "If I let go of you now, will you be able to leave without scaring him?" Ugly could not turn his head, so he stopped moving and let out a low chuckle. His voice was so coarse that it sounded like his throat had been scratched by sandpaper. In the quiet castle, it made people's hair stand on end. Dong Boheo collapsed on top of Chu Xiong's backpack, shivering. Chu Xiong turned back to ask him, "How about we go back? I think the later parts will be scarier. This haunted house is obviously not just designed to scare Rao. It will mimic the horror movies to make people feel like they're there. If I didn't pull him down earlier, he would have removed the thing from the door." Dong Boheo was too curious. Even though he was shivering, he still turned to look at the spot where Ugly was hanging upside down earlier. There was an inconspicuous transparent pocket, and inside it was a bunch of ugly black bugs. Dong Boheo imagined the bugs falling on his head and face, and he shivered. His whole body went numb and his heart skipped a beat. But when he saw Chu Xiong subdue Ugly, his teeth chattered. "No, I can't. This is a live stream. I promised the audience that I would show them the whole haunted house." Chu Xiong was impressed by his professionalism and adventurous spirit. She patted Ugly's shoulder and sighed. "You're really dedicated to your job. You're still not willing to go out. Even so, I can't let you continue to cause trouble. I'm sorry." Chu Xiong untied the colorful ribbons on Chow's clothes. She wrapped one of the soft ribbons around Chow's wrist and tied him to the leg of the table with several other ribbons. Cho was facing the inside of the table, and the tablecloth that hung down covered his terrifying face. After that, Chu Xiong closed the door and turned to Dong Boheo. "Brother Dong, why don't you take a rest? We'll go somewhere else after you catch your breath. There are no other doors in this room, so we'll have to go to other rooms later." Dong Boheo looked around. Ugly was struggling under the table, causing the table to creak noisily. He was even laughing eerily. Fortunately, Dong Boheo knew that the man had been tied up by Chu Xiong, so he wasn't so scared. He leaned against the wall and slowly sat down on the soft, thick carpet. Then he collapsed and lay down on it. "Can do it. Give me a minute, I'll slow down. It's too exciting." Chu Xiong glanced at him, then walked to the table and stuffed all the plates under the table. Just now, Dong Boheo was so scared that he didn't notice that each plate was filled with broken fingers, bloody ears, eyeballs and so on. It looked quite real. Ordinary people would be scared out of their wits if they saw it. The flying camera and the miniature camera on Chu Xiong's body captured this scene clearly. Dong Boheo didn't see it, but the majority of the audience saw it. The bullet screen was filled with "ah." Just by looking at the words, one could feel how exciting they were. At this moment, the center of the tablecloth started to be stained with blood again. The blood quickly spread to the entire tablecloth and dripped onto the carpet. Chu Xiong turned to look around. There was also fresh blood flowing down the wall. Dong Boheo screamed and jumped up like a rabbit to hide behind Chu Xiong. "What is this?" Chu Xiong felt that the paint on the wall was different from the paint on the tablecloth. She reached out to touch it. Dong Boheo widened his eyes and stopped her. Hey, don't touch it. Chu Xiang had already touched it. There was nothing on the wall. She leaned forward to sniff it. There was no smell. He shrugged. Brother Dong, this is fake. I don't know if it's a screen or a projection. It's not real blood. Ugly, who was under the table, couldn't understand what she was talking about. But based on the process, he knew that the whole room was covered in blood. This woman was so calm and collected. He had prepared a bug feast and a few magic tricks, but he couldn't do anything because he was tied up. No one had ever succeeded in challenging their haunted house. He couldn't let them leave so easily. Ugly thought about it and used his leg to hook up the food that Chu Xiang stuffed under the table. He kicked them all at Dong Boheo's direction. In the blink of an eye, Dong Boheo and the audience saw a pile of bloody organ parts on the ground. At this moment, the dull sound of a bell suddenly rang in the room. The dim lights suddenly went out and were replaced by flickering red lights. It was extremely strange. Ah! Dong Boheo screamed in a high pitch that he had never screamed in his life. The audience in front of the screen also panicked. Ah, this is so King scary. No wonder no one has ever succeeded. Brother Dong, I beg you, please go back. You are already 50 years old. Don't get scared. Sister Xiang, please send him back. Ugly is so mean. He couldn't release the bugs and kicked out the things that Sister Xiang hid. He is so mean. This is called professionalism, okay? Chu Xiang is crazy. If she has the guts to enter the haunted house, then she shouldn't be scared. Why did she hit the workers? Uncultured trash. Disgusting. She even tied him up under the table. How can she be so shameless? Do you know that this is the world's #1 haunted house? Do you know that the routine here is different from other haunted houses? If Chu Xiang didn't restrain him just now, the bugs would have covered his face. Can't you see that there is a carpet on the floor? Can't you see that Chu Xiang didn't hurt him from beginning to end? When did Chu Xiang hit him? You were careful when you tied him up. Wrap his wrists with cloth, okay? Damn, you guys are still in the mood to talk about this. I'm really scared to death. Let's go back. Sister Xiang is begging you. Come outside and play. If the program crew sees our bullet screen, hurry up and call them out. I'm scared to death. Can you guys stop sending bullet screen comments? You can't even see the screen. Why are you talking so much nonsense? Are you guys a ghostwriter? Can't you turn off the bullet screen if you want to watch or not? What's the point of a live stream without bullet screen? Have you never watched a live stream before? The program crew reported the audience's wishes to the director. The director thought about it for a while and shouted through the loudspeaker. Elder Dong Chu, if you can't do it, come out. Don't force yourself. This was the first time he had requested to stop the show. 1. He was afraid that Dong Boheo, who was already in his 50s, would be scared to death. 2. He was afraid that the live stream would be too scary and the higher-ups would ban the show. He was regretting it now. He did not expect the atmosphere of this haunted house to be so good. The live stream was like a horror movie. When Chu Xiang heard his voice, she shook Dong Boheo and asked loudly, Brother Dong, can you hear me? Wake up. The director wants us to leave. Just give up. Dong Boheo hesitated. He felt that it was not good to give up. However, as soon as he moved, his legs went soft and he knelt down. He knelt right on top of an eyeball. That eyeball actually exploded. He immediately screamed and leaned against Chu Xiang while shouting, Retreat! Back off, back off, back off. Chu Xiang immediately carried him on her back and walked out in large strides. What are they doing? Are they really going to back off? This episode is about challenging a haunted house. They're just going to leave. Are they kidding us? I'm here to see the scary atmosphere. What's the difference between going out to play and other shows? Why are they afraid of entering a haunted house? Cowards! That's enough. Brother Dong has good intentions. He wants to challenge the haunted house himself and let us see what it's like inside. But he's scared now. Who knew it would be so scary before we went in? If I wasn't a die-hard fan, I would have turned off the live stream. What's wrong with returning? Haha, I knew they were bullshitting. Even a haunted house fan has been scared off. These two actors still have the nerve to challenge the haunted house. Where did they get their faces from? The director sighed and shook his head helplessly. This episode was not done well. However, Dong Boheo's physical and mental condition was important. They could not force him to continue. Thankfully, only a portion of the audience was dissatisfied with their decision to give up. Most of them were more concerned about Dong Boheo's condition. In the car, Zhou Yi was so scared that he hugged a pillow and shook like a sieve. However, he still stared at Chu Xiang on the screen, afraid that she would be scared by something that would suddenly appear. No matter how brave a person was, there would be times when they would be scared. Who knew what would happen in a haunted house? The pillow he was hugging was unlucky. It was almost crushed by him. The moment he saw Chu Xiang walk out of the haunted house, he breathed a sigh of relief. Finally, he did not have to look at the scary scenes inside. When he saw Chu Xiang dripping out of the pool of blood on the first floor, he was so nervous that his nerves almost snapped. Chu Xiang put Dong Boheo down and helped him sit on the ground. Dong Boheo sighed. I feel like I died once and just crawled out of hell. He pressed his chest and said, No, I was saved by you. If it was me, I probably wouldn't even have the courage to return. I would have fainted on the spot. Chu Xiang took out a bottle of water from her backpack and opened it for him. She comforted him. It's normal. Before I came, I searched for news about this haunted house. Every year, many challengers fainted. It's not embarrassing for us to return. Dong Boheo calmed down for 2 minutes. He looked back at the haunted house and wiped his face. It's my first failure. The audience must be disappointed. Chu Xiang looked at him. A 50-year-old man who was always full of vigor was completely listless now. It was not because he was scared, but because he had disappointed his fans. Chu Xiang looked at the castle and said, How about I go in alone? I'll try to complete the challenge as soon as possible. We'll meet outside. Dong Boheo looked at her in surprise. Thinking about how she looked like she was strolling in her own backyard, he looked at Liang Yan. That Chu is really not afraid. How about we let her go? Don't waste this rare shooting opportunity. She might be the first person in the world to walk out of this castle. The director called the assistant director to discuss and said, Okay, old Dong, you take a rest outside and let Chu go in. Considering the audience's psychological endurance, Chu, try to avoid the scary scenes and run out as fast as you can. If you can't, don't force yourself. Leave as soon as possible. Chu Xiang made an okay sign and went to the van to change into a short-sleeved shirt and trousers. It was more convenient for her to move around. Then she quickly ran in. Zhou Yi was frozen in the van. Staring at the screen, he felt like he had nothing to live for. The audience in the live stream room were all excited. After all, they had seen Chu Xiang's courage with their own eyes. Now they didn't have to worry about being scared. Instead, they should be worried about whether the staff inside would be scared by Chu Xiang. Exciting things were naturally attractive. When this thing became a haunted house that no one in the world had succeeded in, the level of excitement increased exponentially. Not only did the audience not leave, but it also attracted more viewers. Chapter 57. Chu Xiang entered the haunted house in a different way compared to when she had Dong Boheo with her. She ran to the innermost room on the second floor to untie Cho. I'm so sorry for offending you earlier. Please continue, I'll be leaving now. After that, Chu Xiang ran out of the room and closed the door behind her. Cho crawled out from under the table. He did not know how to react. He could leave the haunted house and appear like a ghost with the others, but Chu Xiang was not afraid of him. What could he do? Cho packed up his equipment and decided to leave. After all, he still had a few more tricks up his sleeve. He walked to the door and opened it silently. He tried to open it but failed. He tried a few times and realized that the doorknob was tied from the outside. He could not open it at all. Chu Xiang had left the room too quickly. A flying camera had been left behind in the room. It captured Chao's series of actions clearly. It made the audience laugh. The blood room was still scary. Chao's face looked even scarier in the dark room. But how come it looked so funny? Chu Xiang returned to the corridor and was faced with 6 doors on both sides. She pushed open a door and glanced inside. Seeing that there was no exit, she closed the door and quickly tied the doorknob. As for the shadow that appeared on the window, well, who cares what it was? Chu Xiang opened 4 doors in a row. When she opened the 5th door, she saw that there was a door directly opposite her. She ran into it. The fireplace next to him suddenly burst into flames, and the smell of gasoline filled the room. It was as if the whole room was about to burn. Chu Xiang could not push the door open. She needed to find a key. She turned around and realized that the door that she came in from had slowly closed on its own. It was even locked. The lights in the room flickered on and off. The cabinet on the wall made a dong 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 sound. Chu Xiang looked around carefully. There was no gasoline in the room. The smell of gasoline was there to increase the tension. She started to look for the key on her left. She pulled open a drawer. Suddenly, a prank doll popped out and started to play a waltz. Chu Xiang pressed the prankster doll back, closed the drawer, and continued to search. Then, he heard the cabinet door behind him creak open slowly. She remembered the director's instructions and ran over to close the cabinet door. She moved the sofa to block the door. Dong 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 sounds came from the cupboard door again. Chu Xiang continued to search as if nothing had happened. 5 minutes later, the walls on the other side of the fireplace were all on fire. The room was stuffy and hot. Coincidentally, Chu Xiang also found the key. She opened the door and looked back at the flames burning on the wall. She walked over to take a closer look and exclaimed, "This special effect is amazing." She admired the flames from head to toe, moved the sofa away from the closet door, and ran out of the door. Of course, she tied the door handle again. This time she brought a lot of rope with her. Sister Xiang, 666. Please accept my kneeling. Sister Xiang has locked up all the scares. Her special effects are so good. What kind of fairy sister is this? She's too cute. I love her. From now on, I'm a Xiang fan. Sister Xiang, don't be too considerate. We can still watch 1 or 2 scary scenes. Run slowly. I really want to know what's in the cupboard. Oh. This is a haunted house, right? Why does it become an escape room with Sister Xiang? Ha 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 ha, Sister Xiang, you can do it. After Chu Xiang went out of the door, there was a corridor with stairs. It was very dark and she couldn't see if there was anyone in the corner. Chu Xiang ran up the stairs quickly, ignoring the skeletons and dead rats in the corner. There were 2 more doors in the attic upstairs. Chu Xiang opened and closed the door as usual. When she didn't see the exit, she tied the door handle. The audience could only see a flash of images through the gap of the door. There was an old nun holding a candle in the room, and a man with a knife in his back lying on the table with blood all over his face. Before they could do anything, they were locked inside by Chu Xiang. However, Chu Xiang did not come out empty-handed in the attic. She discovered that the 3 paintings hanging on the wall were a map when put together. She took down the paintings and put them together. After looking at it for a while, she memorized the map in her mind and ran down the stairs. The exit was on the 1st floor, but she had to go down the dark stairs and then through a basement and a prison before she could leave. Chu Xiang picked up a candle from the wall and walked down the stairs with the candle's light. The 1st floor was not connected to the 1st floor of the haunted house, but she needed to go through the basement to find the exit. She didn't explore the 1st floor but went directly to the basement. Now she knew why no one had succeeded in the challenge. This place was not as simple as a haunted house. It contained many classic horror movie elements, and it was like a maze. If she hadn't found the map, she would have had to take a long detour to find the exit. How could a normal person withstand running into so many scary things in such a place? In addition, there were various special effects and temperature control to test the challenger's heart. It was not surprising that one would get lost in the dark and not be able to get out. When she reached the first floor, it was completely dark. Other than the candle in her hand, she couldn't see her fingers in front of her. Chu Xiang had been nourished by the Reiki for so long, so her ears were very sharp. She relied on her hearing to distinguish whether there was anyone around. Suddenly, water dripped on her hand. She looked at it and it was green. It was like the saliva of monsters she had seen in movies. The next second, something jumped down from the top of her head. Chu Xiang nimbly dodged and bent down to look under the candle's light. The thing that fell on the ground was the alien larva. It was wriggling. The prop was quite realistic. When she bent down, she saw half a zombie crawling toward her. She straightened her back and walked around it. She quickly walked forward according to the map in her memory. Although she couldn't see anything, the map had been imprinted in her mind. When she came down, she also remembered the direction clearly. She had never deviated from the route. There were many things in the dark that could only be seen when the challenger lost their way and bumped into them. Chu Xiang passed by 80% of the good things in the dark. Dong Boheo was watching the live broadcast outside. He patted his chest and said, "Fortunately, I wasn't inside. This place is really scary." He sighed again. "Fortunately, I wasn't inside. Otherwise, I would definitely drag Chu down. Why do I feel that she is like an MC, and I am like a guest she invited?" He joked and helped Chu Xiang advertise. It seems that Chu Xiang is very interesting as a resident. Everyone, remember to watch her Super Hot Star. I will definitely watch it. I'm looking forward to her performance. Brother Dong, this advertisement is good. I'm tempted. Let's watch it. I will definitely watch it. I'm begging someone to invite Sister Xiang to shoot an escape room. She is so smart. She actually found the secret in the painting after glancing at it. Moreover, she's super brave, super skilled, and calm in the face of danger. And so many other good points. Let her act in a suspense film, okay? Yes, Sister Xiang can do it. I finally found out that Sister Xiang can handle any variety show. It's right to look for her. Let's watch more of her variety shows. If you want her to become a variety star, she has to shoot 5 or 6 variety shows a year. Sister Xiang, promise me that you won't act anymore. Let's play to your strengths and avoid your weaknesses. We will definitely support you to the end. Chu Xiang was about to walk to the door when she suddenly heard a movement above her. She hurriedly dodged. This time it was a vampire who fell. After his attack failed, he pounced on her again. With a pale face, sharp eyes, and a black robe, this vampire was not as handsome as he was on TV. Instead, he looked like a hungry ghost who had lived for thousands of years and wanted to suck blood. In order to avoid him, Chu Xiang did not care about the candle in her hand. Once the candle went out, she could not see anything. Fortunately, the night vision camera allowed the audience to see the green night vision image. But the night vision image was a little scary in normal places, and it was even scarier to watch it here. However, before the audience's hearts were in their mouths, they saw Chu Xiang dodge the vampire and pull his sleeve behind him. She quickly pulled his other sleeve and tied a knot behind him. The vampire's hands were inconvenient. He could not make a grabbing action to scare her, but he could not really bite her, right? He could only keep struggling. Chu Xiang took this opportunity to run to the door and opened it. The light from outside shone in. She turned around and smiled at the at least a dozen staff members in the room. "Bye, thank you for your hospitality." Chu Xiang closed the door and tied it skillfully. Then she turned around and saw that the room was full of snakes. It was like a python disaster. She glanced at the few tables. Although she was sure that the snakes on the ground were not breathing and were all high-quality imitations, it was very uncomfortable to step on so many of them. She stepped back a little, rushed forward, and jumped steadily on the nearest table. Then she jumped on several tables. Finally, she grabbed a bar in mid-air and swung hard. She successfully swung to the floor on the opposite side and smoothly passed through the snake area. The netizens could see that this was how the tables and bars were used. But the key was that who could jump so far from the tables and grab the bars? Most people would fall into the snake pile when they reached here. There might be something scary waiting in the snake pile. But according to the reports, no one had ever walked so far. Watching Chu Xiang's operation just now was like watching a secret agent movie. It was so cool. Chu Xiang entered the prison and saw a sturdy man chained up with a long chain. There was a long scar on his face, which made him look extremely terrifying. He was sitting on the ground and eating something. It was bloody and looked like a dead rat. However, Chu Xiang's 5 senses could smell that it was made of sausages. She was speechless. You can eat it even when it's made like this? Is it delicious? The prisoner paused and slowly raised his head. He looked at Chu Xiang with a fierce gaze, as if he wanted to kill someone. Then he slowly stood up. Chu Xiang touched her stomach. She felt a little hungry after such a big exercise. Of course, she still didn't want to eat the sausages in the shape of a rat. She found a stick on the ground and ran quickly towards the prisoner. Everyone thought that she was going to hit someone, including the prisoner. They were stunned and made a defensive posture. In the end, Chu Xiang just wrapped the chain around the stick a few times and then ran to the ladder. The prisoner reacted and immediately tried to grab her. However, the chains that were originally long enough got tangled up, and he couldn't move after 2 steps. That you're tuning in to the Whispers of Romance YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.